Lauren Brooks, Taylor Dahl, and Tom McManus. This is
Helmets and Heels.
Helmets and Heels on 1010XL.
Whew. I don't know about y'all, but I've had a very stressful afternoon already today.
Oh, you have?
I have.
I've witnessed some of it out there in the hallways.
Yeah, RJ
Yes.
witnessed part of it too. So Florida softball was playing Auburn, and Auburn wasn't a team that started off great, but as of late, they've been really good at the plate. Florida ended up winning 10-9.
Oh, wow.
In going into the seventh, it was 10-8. And then Auburn had a home run, so then it was 10-9, but then Florida escaped. But still, very stressful game back and forth. Florida was up 6-5 at one point. Auburn hit a 3-run jack. So then Florida was down. Then Florida tied it, and then
You thought
ended
the
up winning.
Jags won the Super Bowl. She's like, boom. I was like, boom. And she's like, yeah, boom.
That's hilarious.
Yeah,
But it's
absolutely.
cool that one of the girls on the Florida team, her walk-up song is "These Boots Are Made for Walking."
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go.
I
love
There's
that.
the connection.
Exactly.
There it is.
But yeah, I'm not as big of a Gators softball fan as I am Gator baseball fan, but we've been to see Florida softball this year, last year, and because they come in town, and they're so much fun to watch. It's a fun, fast-paced sport, unless you care about it. And 10 runs is a lot, obviously, for Florida, but
Yeah.
allowing 9 runs is also a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, but at least it's the fireworks, not for your team, but
Right. If you're
somebody
just a
watching, wow,
spectator,
it's a great game back
yeah,
and
if you're
forth.
play-by-play or
Yeah.
color, you're having an absolute blast.
Yeah.
But yeah, we escaped.
You got it.
Can move on
Way to
in the
go.
Yeah, I've got a
SEC
game.
tournament.
Softball.
That's right. Florida State, by the way, won 2-1. So much
Okay.
different game. Florida State beat Georgia Tech. Florida State's in the semifinals tomorrow. But yeah, good stuff by the.
Good way to kick off a Thursday.
Exactly.
with a
All right.
Florida win.
The opposite of good way to kick off a Thursday for Taylor. We're going to talk about Aaron Rodgers.
Boo. He won't leave me alone. He
He won't leave the
It's in your
NFL or the Steelers alone either, in case you missed it. And we've had Brooke Pryor on the show. She's on ESPN right now reporting about Aaron Rodgers likely to play for the Steelers this upcoming season. I don't think it's that much of a surprise. I think it's more the timing of it. I think some people expected him to wait until even closer to the season so that he could avoid all of the offseason work that he doesn't really like to do.
I mean, look, McCarthy's the coach. I'm
Yeah.
sure they had plenty of private, conversations about him playing for the Steelers. Why he announces it now, I have no idea.
Right.
Rookie mini camp, they're going to kick that off like we are this weekend, it looks like. But I'm glad he's back. I want to see him back. I mean, not for, against us, but just in general. Can McCarthy and him do anything up in Pittsburgh? I mean, he's got 1 year left, right? You think, I guess. I mean, last year he was kind of, I don't know, he was good at times. He did go through a stretch of playing some good ball.
Almost
And he
95 rating, 24
What's that?
touchdowns, 7 picks, almost
Yeah.
95 rating, and then
Yeah.
65.7% completion, a little over 3,300 yards.
Yeah, that's a pretty darn good year.
Yeah.
I mean, for him, it's not he's normally, at least in his prime, he was, 38 touchdowns, that kind of thing.
2 picks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but,
his best year, 48 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
Jeez, yeah.
The year after
His
that,
TD to
37 and
interception
still
ratio
slinging.
is always one of the best. That's one of the
Yep.
things that have climbed a little bit in recent years. Like this last year was 7. He had 11 the year before. The 2 years previous, that before the Achilles, he had 12. That never happened previously. Like that
Right.
stretch, 2, 4, 5, 4, while throwing high 30s and 40s touchdowns.
Yeah.
That used to be what he did on a regular basis.
Yeah, I mean, he's still got the cannon. I mean, he can flick it, and it still has a lot of velocity, goes a long way, he puts it in the right spot. I remember back in the day, in his prime, he was the one QB that could whip it 50 yards downfield without his feet being on the
Right.
ground. He could just whip his back hip, and everything would follow and swing like it was nothing. You're like, man, he's not even touching the ground. That's pretty interesting. I mean, shortstops do it a lot. They
Yeah.
got to jump up and turn it and all that, but he could really sling that thing. So, yeah, look, I mean, not when we play him, but for the NFL, and just I want to see if he can do anything on his way out. I do appreciate, I know you don't like him, but I appreciate guys like him and that played a long time that you'll remember, as one of the
getting to
the
see
greats of our
right.
era. I mean, look, 4-time MVP. You can't deny that he was really good, really,
Right.
really good. And
Yeah.
but anyway, I'll see what he does. Now, if he flames out, because you think about like when Joe Montana was over, you remember that. It was good for a little bit with
Dan
Kansas
Marino.
City. And
Yeah.
Marino was right here.
Correct.
You felt bad for Dan.
Yeah.
Like just, Bees didn't because he picked him off twice. He didn't feel bad for him, but, you're like, man, what a terrible way to go out. He never played again.
Correct.
Like 62-7 and just, didn't have a good day. I remember I was on IR, but seeing him come out, like I was like, he could barely jog. That leg was just so stiff, but he still had the arm, that he could still sling it. But nonetheless, it didn't end pretty. But for Aaron, I don't care how it ends. I just want to see kind of how it ends, I guess.
Like you said, not against the Jags. The last time Aaron Rodgers quarterbacked the team against the Jaguars, they won. He threw 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. That was when he was the quarterback of the Jets.
Yeah.
That's
right.
Yeah,
I think that, and obviously I have my reasons for hating him. He embarrassed the Bears many times throughout my life. And so that's part, and he leaned into that heavily, which that's what the Bears-Packers rivalry is. So it is what it is. But then other things came along as the career went that just made him so unlikable to me. So that added on to it. But I do think for the sake of the NFL, he is one of the guys that people outside, if you don't have that, you love Aaron Rodgers because he has been one of the best quarterbacks in recent years. There was even Tom Brady in that stretch when he was winning all of these Super Bowls. Aaron Rodgers was doing everything that Tom was doing statistically, just not winning the Super Bowls. He obviously got one with the Packers, but I think the Steelers are looking at this, and I agree with you in the sense they had to have had conversations, at least Mike McCarthy and him, because you are looking, if it's not, it's going to be Will Howard or Drew Aller that's going to be playing. So they had to have been, if Aaron isn't going to play, I would have thought another veteran would have been talked about or tried to be, there's rumors that the Steelers might try and get him. So I do think, I guess Mason Rudolph's there too. But
Cousins, you'd think Cousins would have gone to
like
Pittsburgh
that.
versus now being a backup.
Yeah, because you look and they have DK Metcalf, they added Pittman, Freiermuth. They have a pretty good offensive line. Their defense obviously has some solid pieces over there. So the Steelers are looking like we could win a good amount of football games this year, but we got to know who the quarterback's going to be because how you've got to plan that. And if Rodgers wasn't going to be here, they would have had to, in my opinion, go get a veteran to where they really felt like they weren't just wasting a whole year. Because there's some of these guys, DK Metcalf's older, so it's not like you have this young wide receivers that you can, where all of these guys with Aller or Howard are going to grow together. It's not like that. You kind of have this small window in that light, and then you're going to have to kind of rebuild again with these young guys. Yeah.
And again, with McCarthy and Rodgers' history, I'm sure he felt pretty confident he was going to come back. I wonder if it wasn't him, would he? Well, Tomlin, he'd probably come back for Tomlin, but if it was some other new coach,
who knows?
Maybe he didn't have a connection with, but
Tomlin's much harder on the players, obviously, than what we've ever heard about McCarthy being more of a player-friendly guy. And he's 42; he'll be 43 in December during the season. Aaron Rodgers, and so I feel like the time is running out.
Yeah.
He's a diva. He is a diva. There's no doubt, and you just got to figure out how to handle him.
Well, and it's funny with McCarthy, too, because when McCarthy got fired from Green Bay, the whole rumors was that Aaron Rodgers got him fired. So they were like, they weren't getting along anymore, and Aaron Rodgers was like, get rid of him. I don't want him. And that was the whole rumors with that he got a couple coaches fired, actually, in Green Bay. But so it is kind of funny that now that's the reasoning that people are saying they're reuniting when all the rumors during those years was that they weren't getting along towards the end of that tenure whatsoever.
I do feel like the more teams a quarterback is on at the end of his career after a really good career, the legacy gets tainted just a little bit.
Depends
like a Russell Wilson,
he's faded.
Yeah, he's faded. Rodgers now, instead of just being like one of the Packers' best quarterbacks of all time, you're going to be like, Packers, he was really good. And then he went to the Jets and tore his Achilles, and then he went to the Steelers.
Yeah,
and
the Achilles. Yeah,
the Achilles certainly hurts, pun intended. Yeah. But I just feel like he's not the shining, obviously at this age too, but Tom Brady finished his career completely differently, even though it was a second team. He won a Super Bowl, not a second. He won a sixth Super Bowl with the Bucs at that point in time. So I just feel like it does. To me, it taints the legacy just a little bit when they start to move around and jump team to team.
It's like what people say about LeBron.
Correct.
They were like moving and trying to build these big power teams everywhere you go, rather than just winning where you stay, where your legacy started.
Yeah, but Rodgers he's not doing that. LeBron was like pulling guys in and trying to win.
Rodgers has done that at each team he's been to, brought his people with him.
Well, I don't know. Does he pitch? What do you bring with pitch?
Yeah, well, multiple receivers everywhere he's gone. It's like always the Lazards and Cobbs and guys like that he's brought with him at each of the stops. Yeah.
Well, I wonder if Tomlin put a stop to that, because Well, if he
Maybe.
did that,
I think he was. I want to say
was
one of
trying
them.
to.
Yeah. One of them I thought went for a little bit of just, they're not good. So it was always weird choices to bring with
You're
you.
out, kid.
Yeah.
Well, Lazard was good for him for a little bit with Green Bay.
Yeah.
He was here, but he didn't do anything here. But
Yeah, and
Got a
talking
few
about
balls.
that, people listening, since obviously hit up the text line designed by Lifetime Enclosures 641-1010. I want to know who is the best quarterback you ever saw play live? I think for a lot of people, it's going to be Tom Brady, of course. Like if you're a Jags fan, you saw Tom Brady live.
you mean
in
like just on
2018.
TV or whatever?
No, I mean like
In
in
person.
person.
Oh, in again.
Yeah,
in
like
again.
for me,
Okay.
my answer would be Tom Brady. A close second would be like an Aaron Rodgers, a Peyton Manning, quarterbacks like that. But for other people, it's going to be quarterbacks that go much farther beyond that.
Yeah.
Older.
I played against a lot of them. I mean, Elway,
Mm-hmm.
Marino.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Elway was unbelievable. That guy was, even at his age, Who else back in the day? I practiced against Joe Montana.
That's pretty cool.
Kind of cool. I had to guard Marcus Allen, and he totally torched me. It was awful. Well, part of it, I was in awe. I was like, oh, my gosh,
like,
I got to
whoa.
cover Marcus Allen one-on-one. And he just went right by me. I was like, there goes Marcus Allen. Yeah, one of my favorites growing up. I loved Brunell. Brunell was a tough QB. Brady, I never saw. I don't think I've ever seen Brady live. Manning, I've seen live.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't play against him. Yeah, but there's a lot,
There's a lot.
I want to say, like, I wish I would have seen Michael Vick live, like when he first got to the league. Because I remember him at Va Tech. You're just like, man. Remember they played Florida State in a championship game, maybe it was. Remember he was just so fast and could flick it. And then you hear the stories of him as a kid. He used to throw it over buildings, like go on to the other side of the building. He could heave it over. You're like,
Minshew
what?
do that too?
I mean, unbelievable. But
yeah, he's
those guys
incredible.
like that, just iconic.
Did you ever see Brett Favre live?
I did not.
Okay.
No.
Oh, I have.
I've seen
Yeah,
Aaron
I've seen
Rodgers obviously
Favre
multiple
live.
times.
They
But I
played
have not
here.
seen. I did not see Favre.
Yeah, he was
Got
great.
it.
And he had that one good year with Minnesota. Other than that, other than, hey, Jen, come out to my room with the Jets. That was awful. Brett, what are you thinking? I didn't know what a camera phone was. I guess. But he did have the Minnesota year, which was good, But anyway, I see what you're
Brett.
saying. It depends how they finish, right?
Yeah.
And
I
it
mean,
depends
Wilson,
on the game
I
they
agree.
had in
He's
front of
like,
you too.
go home.
Yeah.
And I guess the Jets are trying to bring him. Did you
He's
see that?
debating between
Or
a
TV.
broadcast
He'll probably
career,
go
yeah.
TV.
Yeah.
The
That's
brand's
Probably
better.
should. It's probably time.
The brand's better for TV. There you
Pack
go.
it up. All right. David Smoke of 365 Sports over in Waco, Texas will join us momentarily. We're going to talk about Jaguars' newest wide receiver, one of Josh Cameron. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010X on 92.5 FM.
I was born a Jags fan, and I'm Duval till I die.
1010XL, where Jaguars fans roar.
Feel a vibration in your steering wheel at highway speeds? That's not something to ignore, and a standard tire balance might not fix it. At G&H Tires and Service, they offer Road Force Balancing, an advanced system that simulates how your tire actually performs on the road to detect hidden issues. It goes beyond traditional balancing to reduce vibration, improve handling, and extend the life of your tires. Newer vehicles, especially with low-profile tires, demand this level of precision. Drive smoother. G&H Tires and Service on Beach Boulevard, where your ride gets dialed in right.
Hey, Tom McManus here for Armstrong Fence Company, a locally owned and operated business right here on the First Coast for nearly 25 years. Known for reliability, quality craftsmanship, and professional service, Armstrong Fence, they handle it all, from big projects like stadiums and schools to your very own backyard. They build a wicked strong fence, and they do it right the first time. When you need a fence, trust Armstrong Fence Company. Yeah, we did the fence.
Rick Ballou for Coy Dental. That's right, Carlson Dental is now Coy Dental. Dr. Lee has been practicing there for 9 years, has purchased the company. The Coy Dental team still has the same great dentists and staff. And remember, if you get nervous visiting a dentist, don't. There's never a problem at Coy Dental, with light sedation for cleaning and deep sedation for all your restorative needs. Coy Dental, located in Bartram Park.
I insist on complete honesty.
You can chime in anytime on the 1010XL text line.
Installed by Lifetime Flooring.
If you have something to say to me, I wish you would just say it.
Share your opinion.
Nuts? What?
641-1010.
It's crazy.
Have you got concrete or asphalt rubble piling up? Arcosa Crushed Concrete will pay you for it and recycle it. They're just minutes from Everbank Stadium on Talleyrand. Call Arcosa Crushed Concrete and get paid for what you don't need. ArcosaCrushedConcrete.com.
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
It's been a tough Saturday in the lake. I ordered swim trunks in this orange cream color, but it's actually more orange auburn. Oh, and it's swimwear. I probably can't even return these.
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Memorial Day, friends, family, great food is what we look forward to all year. But when your septic system decides it wants to be part of the conversation, yeah, nobody wants that. Getting a pump out now is a smart move before things get, let's just say, uncomfortable. Duck Rooter, Northeast Florida's only master septic contractor. They've seen it all, and they get it right the first time. Right now, get $50 off septic tank pumping. Keep the memories, not the mess. When you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Looking for something fun that mom and the whole family can enjoy? Check out the Sharks this Sunday, May 10th, as they take on the Tulsa Oilers at the Five-Star Arena. Kickoff is 4 o'clock. Bring mom to the game. All moms get one free ticket with one paid ticket. Moms also get $20 in Shark Bucks to spend as they choose. Food, drinks, merchandise, whatever mom wants. Have you heard? Grease is the word. It's Grease Night. Whether you're a T-Bird or a Pink Lady, come on out. Who knows? There might be a fun sing-along. To purchase tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. It's Grease Night, presented by Napa and their Jacksonville Business Development Group. All moms get one free ticket with one paid ticket. Introduce mom to Sharks football, and she'll have a blast. Join us on field after the game for a free autograph session, sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. To purchase tickets, call 904-621-0700. That's 621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Go Sharks! 1010XL, presented by Farah & Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focus, fueled, fearless, Farah. Here's another call on the 1010XL hotline, driven by Key Buick GMC, home of the lifetime powertrain warranty.
Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. We have loved chatting about the newest Jacksonville Jaguars when it comes to the 2026 draft picks for your hometown team. And now we head out to Waco, Texas, where David Smoke of 365 Sports joins us. He's a Heisman voter and Biletnikoff voter. And we are going to talk about the Jaguars' 6th-round selection, Baylor wide receiver Josh Cameron. David, thank you so much for joining us.
Hey, it's great to be on. Absolutely great to be on. Thank you for the invitation.
Absolutely. So from everything we can tell, it seems like if Josh was just a little bit faster, he might have been drafted well ahead of that 6th round because of his productivity in college.
No doubt. I got to know him. I love human interest stories, and I knew all about the fact when he came out of a high school, Cedar Park near Austin, a really good football program, that he got very little interest from anybody other than Division II schools, and the fact that eventually Baylor offered him a preferred walk-on. He was overlooked. He's always been overlooked, even when he's proven himself, when he got a chance to play after the first year when he didn't get to play much at all. And, you know, his Scott Castelline, his agent, and I talked a couple of different times. We had Josh on the show. Obviously, he was not able to work out too much at the combine. Then the pro day came, and he was still not quite 100%. And I'm thrilled for him because, one, I know you want a good football player, but you're getting A1, the best when it comes to a young man character and what he represents. But I know he has to catch the football and make plays on special teams, but he is super kid. And Yeah, I think had he been able to run and had been healthy when he could run at the combine or the pro day, I think you would have seen him probably go maybe in the fourth. I don't know about any closer than that, any earlier than that, but I do think he would have gone sooner. And I saw the phone call when they called him. He's a great kid. I know I've said that too much, but his injuries and not being 100% cost him probably a couple of rounds.
David, you can't say that enough for the regime down here. They're big on the human element of these guys, and the intangibles is what they call it. But the progression of his game, I want to talk about that a little bit. Freshman year, 28 catches, 386 yards. A little dip that following year. You got some punt returns into there where you really started seeing that. But then I've read some things about him just perfecting the physicality side of his game, and that led to 2024 and what he was able to do that season. And so just chat a little bit about that time and what you saw improve through those years with him.
Well, 2023 was a bad year for Baylor football. I mean, really bad. They were, I think, 3-9 that year. They had that great run in 21 where they went to the Sugar Bowl and beat Ole Miss, but they just kind of been hit and miss. And one of the things that when Josh had a chance to really be a part of the offense in 24 when he caught 50-plus passes, one day after one of the games, he had made a catch on the sideline and made a guy miss. He's big. He's physical. He has sneaky speed, got great hands. I asked him about he was a punt returner, and that was really the impact. You mentioned that on special teams, that he was very good. In fact, I think it might have been 24 where he was an All-American when it comes to special teams as a return man. But I asked him, I said, did being a punt returner help you become a better 50-50 ball, catching balls that were, going to be obviously a defensive back right on you. And not only that, allow you to maybe make a quick twitch move to get away, because you have to do that when you've got guys coming down on punt returns to basically try to blow you up. And I think that helped him. I think that helped him once he had a chance to start to catch with Sawyer Robertson, the quarterback. But he made a lot of those plays where he got extra yardage, yards after catch, and was able to avoid whoever it was, a safety, a corner, both, nickel, and he just blossomed. He just blossomed. And as he became more and more valuable as a wide receiver, he did less and less on special teams. But his story from walk-on to an All-American punt returner to then being a guy he's the guy that you wanted to throw the ball to. They had a couple other receivers that were very, very good too, but you wanted to get him the football on any kind of a critical play.
David Smoke is our guest here on Helmets and Heels, talking about Josh Cameron, our Jaguars pick out of Baylor. I'm seeing where he breaks tackles. He doesn't go down easy. He blocks like a tight end. That all these traits are adding up to what they like here in Jacksonville under this regime, David. My question is, where do you think he aligns on an offense? Is he more of a slot guy? Do you think he can step outside and be that outside receiver? Where do you think it is for him on the offensive side of things?
Well, I'll be honest, as far as X's and O's, that's not like something that I'm not a film watcher. I watch games, and obviously I watch some replays of games, but he's a big body now, and I don't know how that would fit unless there was a mismatch that Jacksonville sees because of his size. It's 6'1", 6'2", I mean, over 200 pounds. And most of the time when you think about a slot receiver, it's somebody that's got, the first thing I think about is like Edelman or Welker and guys like that. That's not him. That's guys that can you can't find them. And then by the time you do, they're like underneath all the various coverage. I would have to think, now again, I am not an X's and O's guy, but I can't imagine that he would be in a slot unless they line up a formation or 10 in which that would benefit Jacksonville in the offense and also give Josh a chance to be on somebody that he's just a physical mismatch.
Well, as we listen to you talk about it and from what we know about this roster, I think he's going to make the team, David. So that's exciting stuff. I love, like Tom was saying, when he's called a wide receiver that plays the position like a running back. Outside of maybe Parker Washington here, I don't think the Jaguars have a guy like that.
Yeah, no. Here's one of the things I talked to Josh about, and we had him on a couple of different times. I think once right before the combine, and then again a little bit later, just to kind of check in with him. One, he's got an unbelievable smile. anything he says, I know it's true. There's no trying to like say something just to say it. He's going to give you from the background he has with the Cameron family and what they've been through and what he's been through is truly amazing. Josh is he's going to be on. I think he might. Here's one of the things I asked him about. What about when we say special teams as a punt returner? Forget that. Wide receiver, okay, you'll have to work up and down the depth chart. But what about someone who's going to go down the field and make a play as a coverage man? Because we all know, unless you're some sort of a blue chip, high level, big time, like lots of money involved, high pick, first or second, third round, maybe second round pick, you have to be on special teams. Josh will cover. I don't know if they're going to have him do that much, but he can also make the team because of his size, physicality, go down and make some plays, whether it's on punt returns or kick returns. And I think that's something that almost every rookie knows, if they're smart, that they're going to have to do that on special teams too.
I was about to mention that, David, because they talk a lot about his punt returning in college, but at the NFL level now, with all of the changes and the kickoff return and that dynamic return is what they're calling it, a lot of teams are using big wide receivers, sometimes running backs, cornerbacks. You're seeing teams do it a little bit different, but those big wide receivers have been starting to being used a lot more in that area. So I was about to ask, is that something you could see him doing at the next level too?
Yeah, I do. I don't think there's anything Josh can't do unless physically he just can't do it. And I think also because of who he is, whatever he's asked to do, he's going to try it, do it, and hopefully and do it well. I mean, it won't be, oh, God, I got to do special teams. Not going to get that from him. He wasn't. I think he returned only like one kick, and I don't even know if it might have been a pooch kick when he was at Baylor. Most of all the damage he did those last 3 years was his punt returning. But I'm telling you, he doesn't need any kind of PR machine, and that's not who I am. I would tell you, there's a couple other guys that were drafted or not drafted that I would think of differently. He is going to come in with a big smile on his face, with everything you could imagine. If he makes the team, which I hope and I think he will because of what I've talked about, great. And he will only get better. He's only going to get better. If he gets the shot, he's only going to get better. And because of so many things he could do, you want a guy that may have caught 85 or 90 passes or might be a starting wide receiver. I just know that whatever he will contribute in any way that Jacksonville needs him to do so. But yes, great hands, physicality, and being a punt returner has also allowed him to make those 50-50 catches when he's given the chance.
David, final question for you. Are Baylor fans excited about DJ Lagway, their new quarterback?
Yeah, this is a program. They had the great run back in 2010 to 11 when RG3 was around. And then, of course, they had some really high-level top 5 teams under Art Browse, and then that all blew up with the scandal. And they've just been kind of almost like, do you get out from underneath the rock? Oh, damn. And there's always something that happens. But they are, because Sawyer Robertson did not have any more, eligibility left, or he would be here. DJ being a Texas kid, his dad played at Baylor. I do think there's excitement, but I'll tell you what it's like now, because they just had 8-4 2 years ago. They didn't make the postseason or a bowl game last year. There's an uneasiness about who they are. There's also a head coach that is under the gun. Great guy. People love him. Got to win. DJ, is he going to be like the savior? I wouldn't say that. But he told me in an interview when I was able to talk to him back early on, right before they started spring, that he's healthier now than he can remember since he was in high school. And I've checked on that. He, of course, was beat up quite a bit. He also wasn't as good as he needed to be. And I do think that there's at least, hey, let's see how this goes. But here's the deal. Their opening game is on the road in Atlanta against Auburn. And I know Auburn's now where are they in the SEC? Who are they? I know what they want to be, but Auburn beat them in Waco last year. And so I think that you talk about giving a program an adrenaline rush, a shot in the you-know-what, is if they can win that game in Georgia, that would be huge. I don't expect them to, But I do think DJ at least give them a hope, not a prayer, but gives them a hope that they can turn the corner.
Well, a lot of fans around here, obviously being Florida fans, I will be keeping an going on that for sure. But David, thank you so much. Really good stuff on Josh Cameron. We really appreciate your time.
Hey, good luck. You're going to love talking to him when you get a chance. If you do, if you haven't already, thank you very much for asking me to talk about him.
Absolutely. Thank you, David.
Beautiful.
Hey, I mean, if that's not Duval DNA, I don't know what is.
Well, listen,
preferred walk on to that.
If he can return punts at the next level, I mean, Parker's our punt returner. And if they're going to give him a big contract, they may not want him to return his big punts.
I've always, not always, but starting the end of last season, I kept saying, okay, I'm good with someone else returning punts, Parker. And that's not a reason to keep Tank Bigsby, but certainly Tank Bigsby was doing that at one point in time, too. All right, more to do on the other side. Really appreciate David Smoke, 365 Sports. You're listening to Helmets and Heels on 1010XL 92.5 FM.
Don't we all owe it to Mom? I know I do. Jeff Pryor with Lifetime Enclosures and Lifetime Flooring.
I know I owe it all to my mom.
And me too.
Floor your mom this Mother's Day and transform her home with exquisite new floors, or surprise her with a brand new glass or screen enclosure for the outdoor space she's always wanted.
I want to surprise my mom and me too. That's so sweet. Love you guys.
You guys are awesome. Visit our websites or one of our showrooms today to experience the Lifetime difference and ask about our Mother's Day specials.
Lifetime Flooring.
What's happening, beautiful people? E.T. here. Let me tell you about a little something that's happening right here in my side of town in Fleming Island. Encore Research Group is advancing the future of medicine through clinical research studies focused on weight loss, diabetes, hypertension, and more. Their team of multi-specialty doctors are proudly serving folks in Fleming Island, Green Coast Springs, and Middleburg. If you ever wondered whether a research study might be right for you, find out at EncoreDocs.com to see if you qualify. Encore Research Group. The future of medicine starts here.
Flowers and cards are great for Mother's Day, but why not make this Mother's Day extra special with something timeless from Beard's Diamonds? The team at Beard's has put together an amazing collection of affordable and distinctive gifts, up to 40% off. Beautiful bracelets with diamonds and colored gemstones, stunning pendants, and gorgeous earrings featuring both natural and lab-grown diamonds. Think about it. It's the gift she'll be able to enjoy for years, even decades. Always a reminder of that special Mother's Day in 2026. Rings, bands, pearls, fashion pieces, all the latest from the world's top designers. Beard's makes it easy to show the mother in your life how much she means to you and to the whole family. And with up to 40% savings, you'll be amazed at what you can do with your budget. Get the card and the flowers, but top it off with a spectacular piece of jewelry from Beard's. Beard's Diamonds, not another chain store owned by Wall Street. Your local jeweler. Family owned and operated for nearly 45 years. Beard's Diamonds in the St. John's Town Center.
I'm with Craig from Cycles of Jacksonville. Honda going off-road. They've got it all. Two-wheel, four-wheel. What's happening, my man?
Man, they've got the Talon. They got the Talon R. They've got the Talon Live Valve. You're looking to do some farm work, they've got the Pioneer 700, Pioneer 1000. Legendary Honda reliability. Super fun. Dirt bikes, of course, always amazing. More podium finishes than any other company. Can't go wrong there.
And families love it when they go off-road with Honda. Check them out. Cycles of Jacksonville on Atlantic near Regency. CyclesofJacksonville.com.
Hi, this is Dave Barker. Multi-unit hair grafting is now available at IHRS and can give you 3 times more hair in one procedure over a traditional hair transplant.
Multi-unit hair grafting gave me more hair in one procedure and within my budget.
You can grow your hair back with this exclusive new procedure. Call now for your free evaluation and see if multi-unit hair grafting or PRP can restore your hair. Call 904-777-IHRS.
My bald spots are gone. Thanks, IHRS.
IHRS is the only clinic in the Southeast to offer all proven solutions to restore your hair and is now offering multi-unit hair grafting. One procedure, more hair.
You've got nothing to lose but more hair. I feel younger, I look younger, and who doesn't want to feel better about themselves?
This year, grow your hair back. Call for a free evaluation. Call IHRS 904-777-IHRS 777-4477.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. After listening to David Smoke And plus what you know about Josh Cameron, his size, his physicality, y'all think he makes the team? I think he's wide receiver 5 right now. And Travis Hunter being maybe wide receiver 4.
I mean, look, I think his best shot is maybe returning punts, and then like David said, running down on kickoff and punt, making some plays. I think that's going to be his best shot. But yeah, I mean, look, I think that 5th and 6th guys up for grabs, and they've got a few candidates that are going to try to win those jobs. Good thing about rookies today is the practice squad's deep. You're like 16 of them.
Yeah.
So that's like, I mean, everybody wants to be on the active roster, right? Of course. But, if you don't, at least you have a shot at that. That's another 16 positions.
But the team has to worry that if they put a player on the practice squad
and nobody grabs them,
another team that could easily come and take them and elevate them to the active roster. It's not like you have protection over those practice squad players.
But I wonder how, and you're totally right. I'm just curious. Like, I wonder if anybody got yanked off their practice squad last year or the year before. I don't remember. I don't think it's just prevalent.
Happened, but yeah.
It does happen. There's no doubt it happened. I just know how prevalent it is. But you're right. If the guy's that good, you don't want to put him on your practice squad. You want him on your active roster. So he'll have a shot. I think one thing these guys are showing, it don't matter where you're drafted. Like, if you're our guy, you're on our team.
Yeah, and it doesn't matter how you were recruited once upon a time either.
Yeah.
I mean, several of these guys were either walk-ons or walk-ons.
Yeah, we were
talking
every one of them's been a walk-on.
I know.
They've got a chip on their shoulder.
I said off air, I was like, it sounds like the Jags were like, let's find guys who could barely make a college team, and then that we're captains by the end, and we'll draft them somewhere in this draft. But yeah, I mean, I think
talent, no problem.
We've got it figured out. Yeah. We've got good coaching here. I think that, because the conversation, obviously, you draft 2 wide receivers and C.J. Williams and Josh Cameron, and then a Tim Jones and a Trammell, and some of those guys' names are going to stick around because they have here in Jacksonville. And so I do think, to his benefit, the punt return side of things and special teams and blocking and the physicality does weigh in his favor, in the sense of a lot of times we've seen that 5th receiver be the one that's more of a blocking wide receiver or is more willing to do punt return, kick return, special teams, maybe not even technically getting the ball in special teams, but being a part of that when it comes to the coverage side of things. So it seems like he is more physical and he's big, so that may benefit him in that sense.
I wonder if, he's kind of big enough to play running back. I wonder if you only got 3 on the team. Well, there's
DJ Dallas.
DJ Dallas, 4. Did they undrafted free agent?
Yes,
one.
there is an undrafted
and then the big
that
kids
went to the combine, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, and then the big guy from last year,
Amari Taylor.
The big
Jaquindon.
Dude. Yeah, Jaquindon. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing what he looks like. After a year, didn't see him obviously, but
because right now there's 6 technically on the roster when it comes to running backs.
So maybe not. He's just built like one. I'm just trying to. Where do you fit? He's not. It doesn't sound like. It's kind of weird. Like, if you have the quicks for a punt return, or you have the quicks for a slot receiver. That's kind of the same thing. But our slot is the man.
Yeah.
P-Wash.
Yeah.
As I like to call him.
Yeah, Jamari Taylor, by the way, also out of Virginia Tech.
Oh, that's
okay.
Funny.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And he did go to the combine, so he was one of those guys that was borderline going to be drafted.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it will be. That's
Good
going. I feel like every camp we get to, like, who's wide receiver 5, and it's like this big storyline that ends up not being as big usually as you need it or as you make it out to be in camp. But we've also seen years with injuries, and when that happens, you do want to have the depth at wide receiver where you're comfortable with the guy who can do multitude of things when it comes to the hands. He just saw one of the things about him on his draft profiles is how good his hands are. And then you talk about the physicality side. That's something we've seen this regime lean into, are guys that do extra things and not just, hey, catch the ball, but when it comes to blocking and some of that stuff. But in addition, just being willing, and the willingness is something we've heard a lot of these guys as we've talked to them, getting to know them a little bit more. The drafted guys all have that type of thing of, they're willing to do whatever, and most of them have had to do a lot of extra steps and work a little bit harder to get to the point where they were drafted. And so I think that's something that this regime sees, and they like that personality of a guy that knows that's going to come in here and put in the work. We've seen it of what already happened last year, and then now you're seeing this draft almost directly correlate to that type of person.
And Cameron had a calf strain right before the combine. That's what David had referred to.
Yeah, right.
I did some reading in the break, and I was telling y'all off air. Josh Cameron and the story that he had. So basically, his mom went through a lot of health stuff when he was in college. Prior to that, she had never missed a single game of his from Pop Warner all the way through high school. And then I think she ended up having a heart transplant, but so hopefully she's doing better these days. But look, it is a story of resilience for a lot of the guys that the Jaguars drafted. And so that part is cool. I love that he started with the human element side of things, because that's one of the reasons that we talk to these people. It's why you do your podcast, Taylor. It's to get to know more than just the football player on the field. And it's also cool, by the way, that he's already talked to DJ Lagway, because I think that's a whole nother human element side of things. We talked about it when the story came out from Matt Hayes, which, by the way, Matt hooked us up with, David. So thank you, Matt.
Yeah, thanks, Matt.
But how DJ didn't go to class because he felt like he was too famous and he hadn't been healthy, in years, it seems like that.
Yeah.
So that's all going to be interesting to watch. All right, let's get it to Kyle Van Noy. He was on the Up and Adams show with Kay Adams, and he was asked, actually, he wasn't even asked about Liam Cohen. He just went into how good of a play caller Liam Cohen is.
I'm going to throw out a name that I think he's like the best play caller that I've seen over the last 2 years, and that's Liam Cohen.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't get talked a lot about in Jacksonville because it's a smaller market. I get that. They came onto the scene last year. Trevor Lawrence played really well. I'll be interested in how do they replace Travis Etienne, because he was a huge part of their success. But he's different. In 24, when we played him, when he had Baker and the Bucs were playing good and he was throwing the ball over the place, the first 12 plays of their the quarter or whatever, they call them the first 15 plays, they're scripted. I mean, they were a nightmare. Everyone was like, holy hell. They were all problem plays. And you get back to the sideline and you're like, we're going to be in a dogfight because these are crazy. And they were just great concepts, great schemes. He was ahead of the curve when it comes to just being detailed. Wow. I was really, really impressed with him down in Jacksonville. I think he's an awesome coordinator. I think he's only going to be more and more successful as he gets comfortable in his head coaching role, as well as calling the plays. He does a phenomenal job.
You'd think Kyle Van Noy was on the Broncos by saying the Jaguars were a small market team.
Yeah, he heard. Everybody heard.
But I
So
think
come on down.
Yeah.
We could use you.
I think that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, and when you go back to that game, because Baltimore won that game 41-31, but Baker was 31 for 45, 370 yards, 3 touchdowns. He threw 2 picks in that game. But even the run game, Rachaad White had 40 yards, Sean Tucker had 29, Bucky Irving had 23, Baker Mayfield had 22 for 125 total rushing yards. They had 370 in the air with K-Dot and leading that in 100 yards. Rachaad White had 70 receiving yards with 2 touchdowns. So when you talk about the creativeness, getting all those guys involved and we talk about that here now in the sense of, oh no, they have, all of these tight ends. What is that going to mean? And is that going to mean Brian Thomas Jr. isn't going to be on the field, or what is that? And I think that sometimes the expectations may be, okay, you're not going to have that 1,500 yard wide receiver possibly, but you're going to have a lot of guys that have 1,000, 1,100, 970, around that. And that's what you saw in the Bucs that year, because he talked about that first drive, that scripted drive, and they scored right away. They went 8 plays, 70 yards to get a touchdown to go up on the Ravens 7-0 early in that game. And it was just run, pass, run, touchdown pass for a 25-yard touchdown pass is how they ended it. But a lot of different guys getting involved in that. And I think that's what you saw a lot from Liam Cohen that year, even when you were losing, when Godwin and Evans get hurt and you feel like, oh no, what are the Bucs going to do? All these other guys, the running backs were all of a sudden scoring, receiving touchdowns, and running backs, Sean Tucker is getting involved in the game. And all of a sudden the tight ends that were never used in a K-Dot and gets 100 yards. And that's just what Liam Cohen does. And we saw that this last year when Strange gets hurt and Brian Thomas Jr. isn't quite playing that well and Jacoby's new to the team. And he figured out ways to put points on the board. And that's one thing that you could say about Liam is he knows how to do that.
Yeah, he's really creative. He knows how to get a guy open or multiple guys open. He knows how to put out the right personnel grouping at the right time to take advantage of what they have out there. Yeah, listen, it's I'm interested to see him in year 2 here and how they defend him. That's going to be, look, I know he's going to come up with some new plays, some new, wrinkles here and there. But now you got him 2 years on record, of what kind of offense he runs. You'll look at last year very hard as you study him for 2026. And can he break through that game plan? And it's going to be the execution, of course, and the call and the run. They've got to get that run game to where it is relied on, where it can take pressure off the QB. But yeah, I mean, look, I'm every time, the whole time he's talking, I'm like, Kyle Van Noy would be really he's good fun off the bench, man. Yeah. He'll get you 8 to 10.
He had 2 sacks last year, but the year before 12.5.
Yeah, and even before then, he gets around 8. Last year's a down year, but he normally gets 8, 9, 10 sacks. So off
come
the
on
bench,
down. Yeah, I'll take you.
I mean, if the guys that we have here aren't working out, you have time. That's the thing. See how they do, see how they look, and then you know what? Hey, this whole draft strategy, we're going to build and develop, and maybe somebody doesn't step forward, and then you're like, you know what? Maybe we do need a Kyle Van Noy if he's still around.
Yeah.
You wouldn't do that right now because you want to see these young guys.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to see the second-year guys and the rookies and see if they can really make their mark.
We just need a handshake agreement. Taylor, you met Kay Adams. Let's just go through her to get Van Noy to come down here
we need Kyle
around
down
July.
Let's go. We heard he loves Liam, so let's bring him on down.
Exactly. All right, Tom's Takeaways on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010 XL, 92.5 FM.
I just want you to meet some people and find out whatever you can about them. What type of people? Dangerous, dirty, tattooed, uncivilized. Your kind of people.
1010 XL.
Hey, it's Travis from Cannons of Jacks. When you need a trailer hitch, gooseneck, or RV towing options, call us at Cannons. We've been doing it for 55 years, and customer service is our #1 priority. Visit cannonsofjacks.com.
Hi, this is Dr. George Bari, an orthopedic surgeon who is fellowship trained in sports medicine. If you are a young athlete or a weekend warrior, I treat you with the care and expertise that is needed to diagnose and treat your injury. Come see me at Bari Orthopedics to get the care that you need.
Be sure and check out the expertise from Dr. George Bari and the entire staff at BariOrthopedics.com. That's BAHRI Orthopedics.com. And follow Doc on Instagram at Dr.GeorgeBari.
Got a cracked windshield? Not only is it dangerous, but did you know it's also illegal? Call Baker Glass. Matt and his crew use the best auto glass in the market, and they accept most insurance. Plus, all new windshields come with a full warranty. From cars to trucks to RVs, you can count on Baker Glass to be fast and friendly. Just check out their Google reviews. Come see us at the shop on Casta Avenue, or we can come to you at your home or business.
I'm back with Baker Glass. No one treats you better.
Hey, this is Lauren Brooks. Out of my whole family, my mom was most impressed with the closets we had installed from Closets by Design. And lucky for her, they are running a Mother's Day special, so she can finally get organized without breaking the bank. Closets by Design creates custom solutions for every lifestyle and every budget. Call this week to schedule your free in-home consultation and get 40% off, plus an extra 15% off and free installation. For design ideas, make an appointment with Mom to go see their brand new showroom today. Call now 904-878-9393 or online closetsbydesign.com. Closets by Design. Imagine her home totally organized.
Hey gang, Prosser here for my friends Chad and Sandy. What are your concerns? What struggles do you anticipate when it comes time to sell your home? What is it that bothers you? What's keeping you from getting max money as quickly as possible? Well, I don't know what those reasons are because I know they're all silly. Because Chad and Sandy have one down to the line guarantee. Your home sold guaranteed, or they will buy it. It'll be at a price and a rate that you agree upon beforehand. So if you need to sell now, fast, easy, stress-free, and you need max price, then you need Chad and Sandy. The government's making moves intended to push mortgage rates lower. The last time rates dropped, we saw a selling and buying frenzy. Now's the time to prepare. It's time to call Chad and Sandy. Darcy in San Jose did. I wanted to move to a more walkable, vibrant area. Within 3 days of working with Chad and Sandy's team, I found the perfect home. They do it stress-free with a guarantee. Go to chadandsandy.com or call 414-6200. That's chadandsandy.com.
Mark Watson with Hardball Creative, letting you know that Hardball now offers web stores, so your employees can order their own branded gear, and you have more time for Wordle. Check it out at hardballcreative.com.
Hardball Creative. Hardball does it all.
Attention skilled electricians. Are you undervalued at your current company? Time to step up to the bigger projects and better opportunities. Join the team at Miller Electric Company, a trusted name in the industry for over 96 years. At Miller, we tackle the biggest projects in the city, offering not just the job, but an experience, top-notch pay, unbeatable benefits, and the best working environments in the business. Please join the team that values your skills and rewards your hard work. Elevate your career to new heights. Apply today at millercareers.com, an equal opportunity employer.
Overheard at the Hard Rock Bet Party.
Meta World Peace, what's up, man?
Nah, that's not my name anymore, thanks to Hard Rock Bet.
We're doing this again, are we?
Now I go by Meta over rebounds, under assists, Meta the first basket, free throw, Peace.
Huh, so you really can same-game parlay practically anything now on Hard Rock Bet.
It's the only place I play these days.
Download the Hard Rock Bet app and start playing today. Hard Rock Bet. Roll with us.
Offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. Must be 21 plus and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Concerned about your gambling? Call or text 1-833-PLAY-WISE.
Imagine this. You've got the burgers ready in a backyard full of guests. And folks, that's a strong lineup. But a clogged drain on a holiday? That can change everything in a hurry. Before kickoff, make sure your plumbing is ready to go. Call Duck Duck Rooter. They've got experienced, honest pricing and a team you can count on. And right now, get your main sewer line cleaned, plus a camera inspection for just $129. Outside cleanout is required because the only thing you want overflowing this weekend is that cooler. So when you're stuck, call the Duck. 904-862-6769 or duckduckrooter.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch.
So glad I found you, so glad that you existed.
Hey, it's all topic, man. It's RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Just jamming out a little bit.
Yeah, it's nice. Nice vibe, little beat there, RJ.
I love it.
Yeah. Feeling a happy hour coming on or something. I don't know. Maybe.
Some
Thursday
people
starts
believe
a weekend.
Thursday is the beginning of the weekend.
Absolutely.
I know in college it was
401.
always like that.
Oh, yeah. I avoided Friday classes
You
as much
avoid-
as
yeah.
possible.
Yeah,
Like, I just
avoiding
didn't skip
classes.
half them. I would always schedule, like,
Yeah.
Tuesday, Wednesday. Tuesday, Thursday, or Monday, Wednesdays is where I
Mhm.
tried to load mine up.
Yeah, totally. Or not go at all.
That's what I was waiting for. We had 8 seconds in Gainesville in college, and Thursday nights were $20 all you can drink and tons of line dancing.
Yeah.
It was so
I've been
fun.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went there when the
Unfortunately, it's not
Auburn
open
game.
anymore, but
That was a while ago when we I almost said we when they beat Auburn at home. And that long touchdown by that running back, he broke the tackle and went 80.
Mhm.
It was unbelievable. The noise in that place was just insane.
yeah. The loudest I've ever heard the Swamp was in 2006 when Florida blocked the kick against South Carolina.
Okay.
Because obviously we were as loud as humanly
Mm-hmm.
possible to try and block the kick.
Mhm.
And that was the undefeated, or not undefeated, but that was the season that Florida then went on to win the national championship. Close to undefeated. All right, time now for Tom's Take.
Now, Tommy's Takes. Protected by Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com, or dial pound law. That's all.
All right, my take today on this beautiful Thursday afternoon is I learned a couple things yesterday, girls. As you know, I had my very first facial at age almost 56. It was a Father's Day gift that my wife got for me, and I forgot about it. And she finally like, just go get it. I was like, all right, I'll go get it. So I learned a couple things. One thing I learned is rubbing alcohol is not good for aftershave. I didn't know that. I would just take rubbing alcohol after a shave or I exfoliate my face. And my thinking is I'm going to kill everything, right? You kill it. It stings like a mother. You know,
Yeah.
it stings.
I would
But-
think moisturizer.
well, I would have thought that too, but I didn't. Anyway, so I'm getting rid of that, and I'm switching it to witch hazel. So witch hazel is better
Okay.
for you. And number 2, I learned is your capillaries will get exposed if you exfoliate too much. So
Mhm.
fellas, be careful out there. Don't exfoliate too much on the face. And number 3,
How often, sorry, real quick, how often were you exfoliating?
every time I shower, like I got to scrub.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
like a 2 to 3 week type thing.
No,
2 to
I
3
scrub
times,
the heck
you're
out of my
saying.
face.
Yeah, 2 to 3 times per week.
A week,
total.
per week. Yeah. So
Yeah,
it's
not
gonna be a
every-
little
Just
bit
like every day.
And if you're showering multiple times
Yeah.
in a day, you were exfoliating both
And
times?
I learned you're supposed to clean your face first, then exfoliate, not the other way around.
I didn't know that.
That's what I was told. So I'm going
Okay.
to try these things. I came home. I came home with this little dainty bag. She's like, "Oh, they got you, didn't they?" I was like, "Yeah, they got me." I'm going to try a couple of their products.
What is the witch hazel comprised of? Is it a lotion?
No, it's like an astringent, but
Okay,
it's not
got it.
as harsh.
Got it, yes,
yeah,
rubbing
it's more of a
alcohol.
toner than a
Right,
than
okay.
a killer.
This conversation I certainly did not expect.
No, I didn't either, to be honest with you. I've never had a facial before until
How
yesterday.
does your face feel?
It feels fine. It feels smooth, I guess. I don't know if I like the whole process. There was too many things, you know, you go through one and then they wave and then they go through another and then they put on this other thing and then they put on this other thing and then after a while, okay, listen,
Like,
I'm
how
like
many things
I'm a one to two step guy. You know what I mean? I wash my hair with soap. I don't use shampoo. I just take the soap and wash my hair. Like, I'm a very simple.
And then it's lotion that's your hair product.
Lotion
after.
goes into the face. Yeah, she said my lotion was wrong, so she gave me she says I have very oily skin.
I was telling you before this yesterday that, they were going to ask you a lot of questions.
All types of questions.
Yeah, it's going to be good to learn things.
Yeah, and they do. You know, it's kind of nice. It's like, you know how when they want to they want to calm an animal, they put cover their eyes with a little thing. Well, when they're asking all these questions, they got cucumbers or some over your eyes. You just feel like this. Oh yeah, I'm floating on this table and we're talking about my face. Really interesting.
Talking about my face.
Really interesting
Well,
stuff. So
exfoliate
anyway.
less.
Yes.
Moisturize and witch hazel more. That's what
There
we've
you
learned.
go. Yeah,
Less
something
alcohol.
like that. And no
On the
more rubbing
face.
alcohol on the face.
Yeah, that sounds
I
like
know, I
it
feel
would
like
be
that would
really
sting
painful.
so bad.
It does sting.
Yeah,
but
that's a signal.
It's a quick sting. It's a quick sting. No, that's not true. A lot of times when you clean something, it stings, but you're cleaning
That's
it.
a wound usually.
Well, you got some wounds
This
after
is
shaving.
not supposed to be
sometimes.
wounds.
No. Shave.
I mean, I'm no expert by
You
any
guys
means.
cut yourself shaving?
I'm no esthetician. Not usually, no.
Come on.
Not usually.
My girls cut their legs all the time. You don't.
I'll
you don't,
give them advice on which razor to use.
Huh.
Oh,
I will
fair.
occasionally, but I don't. Usually, it'll I just put a little piece of a napkin
Yeah,
and then
right.
it stops
they're
bleeding.
not slicing their leg
Yeah.
wide open, but they nick themselves right behind the ankle.
Yeah. Or the knee.
You're 100%er. You never nick yourself.
I don't know the last time I did nick myself.
It's
I'm
impressive,
sorry
LB.
to tell
Very
you.
impressive.
Well, I have lots of things I'm terrible at, like folding those sheets, the fitted sheets. For the life of me, cannot fold a fitted sheet.
Yeah.
And I've watched videos. I can't
get the
do
corners
it.
My grandma's
together.
so good at it. She's like, "See, look, this is easy." I'm like, "It's not." I just end up. I'll try, and then I
Yeah.
just ball it up.
Yeah, but here's the
Mine
thing. That thing you can. Just fold it a couple times. Who cares what it looks like in the closet?
Well, if someone comes over and they look in your linen closet, they're
Who's
going to be
looking
like,
in your
falling
linen
out because they're all
closet?
why does it look like
Hey,
this?
honey, did you see how they folded their fitted
Did you
sheets?
see
These
their
people are
linens?
really weird.
From skin treatments.
Not coming back here.
to
She can't
folding
fold a
fitted
fitted
sheets.
sheet.
That's right. All right. More to do on the other side. Let's get into some hardball and save our show. You're listening to 1010XL 92.5 FM.
No static ever. Download the free 1010XL app for Apple and Android devices and take us with you wherever you go. 1010XL.
When you're hungry, go big, and more importantly, go to Dailies, where they got anything and everything to tantalize your taste buds and fill you up. At Dailies, our barbecue beef brisket sandwich is slow smoked to perfection, tender, juicy, and full of bold flavor. It's the kind of sandwich that truly satisfies. Try the barbecue brisket sandwich at Dailies. Meanwhile, some favorites never go out of style. The Duval sub at Dailies is stacked, loaded, and made with the bold flavor you want in every bite. Fresh ingredients, big taste. It's a local favorite. Grab the Duval sub today at Dailies. Or maybe you just want a delicious chicken sandwich. Some choices just work. The chicken sandwich at Dailies is crispy on the outside, it's juicy on the inside, and it is full of flavor. Perfect for lunch, perfect for dinner, perfect anytime hunger hits. So grab the chicken sandwich today at Dailies. Dailies is made fresh, it's made local, and Dailies is built for big appetites. I'll see you there today.
Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
It's showtime! That's right. The whole world loves Beetlejuice. It's a rowdy, rambunctious, rollicking good time. And a big, fantastical funhouse. We're raising the bar and occasionally the dead. You've never seen anything quite like Beetlejuice. May 12th through the 17th, Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets on sale at fscjartistseries.org.
Mom does something for everyone. Let 1010XL help you do something for her.
With gift ideas for mom from
Beaches Dermatology and Cookie Fix of San Marco.
Make mom smile at 1010XL.com.
Credit card interest rates are now over 29%. Most people are only making the minimum payments, so they're getting nowhere. Hey, Prosser here. But here's what many homeowners don't realize. Using the equity in your home, you can easily access hundreds of thousands in cash. With Loan Pronto's Rapid Equity Loan, you can pay off your credit card, your existing HELOC, your car loans, or get money for that home improvement project. One client just got $100,000 approved and saved over $1,500 a month. Here's the best part. With Loan Pronto, you can do it all from your phone. With zero out of pocket, no hard credit pull up front, no appraisal, no long drawn-out bank process, and no touching your first mortgage. Rates are at a near 3-year low. Act now. Go to loanpronto.com. See how much you can get in about 60 seconds. Loan Pronto, 2,800 5-star Google reviews. Call 904-999-1508 or go to loanpronto.com. Equal housing lender, NMLS 1661781, NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
There's no better way to heal that foot and mouth problem than by sending a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers. If your foot gets stuck in your mouth, extract it with a floral arrangement from Kuhn Flowers for over 75 years.
Home of the Jaguars. WJXL AM Jacksonville Beach. WJXL FM Jacksonville Beach.
Looking for something fun that mom and the whole family can enjoy? Check out the Sharks this Sunday, May 10th, as they take on the Tulsa Oilers at the Five-Star Arena. Kickoff is 4 o'clock. Bring mom to the game. All moms get one free ticket with one paid ticket. Moms also get $20 in Shark Bucks to spend as they choose. Food, drinks, merchandise, whatever mom wants. Have you heard? Grease is the word. It's grease night. Whether you're a T-Bird or a pink lady, come on out. Who knows? There might be a fun sing-along. To purchase tickets, go to jacksharks.com or call 904-621-0700. It's Grease Night, presented by Napa and their Jacksonville Business Development Group. All moms get one free ticket with one paid ticket. Introduce mom to Sharks football, and she'll have a blast. Join us on field after the game for a free autograph session sponsored by Flight Adventure Park. To purchase tickets, call 904-621-0700. That's 621-0700. Sharks football, where memories are made.
Go Sharks! Imagine this. You and your buddies outside enjoying the warm weather. The grill is fired up, steaks are sizzling, drinks in hand, and you're all hanging out around your brand new outdoor kitchen. CSS Fireplaces and Outdoor Living can make it happen. From custom outdoor kitchens to fireplaces, fire pits, and more. They bring your backyard dreams to life. You dream it, they build it. Visit CSSFireplaces.com and make your backyard the place everyone wants to be this season.
I'm Max Fink with your 1010XL Southeast Orthopedic Specialist local sports update brought to you by Southern Oak Insurance. The Florida State Seminoles and Georgia Bulldogs have mutually agreed to cancel their home-and-home series for the 2027 and 28 season, but plan on scheduling a neutral site matchup. This weekend's Gators for this baseball, they'll be hosting Kentucky with the series starting tomorrow at 6:30, then Saturday at 4, and wrapping up Sunday at noon. It's 92 degrees at 3:02. Time and temp brought to you by Bueller Air and Plumbing. Stay cooler with Bueller.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
All right, we're going to start Lauren's Lane off with some softball, as a matter of fact.
Now, Lauren's Lane. Opened up by Closets by Design. Imagine your home totally organized.
In case you missed the SportsCenter Top 10 this morning, there was a certain play by JU softball outfielder Jada Thomas, and it sounded like this.
Split screen. Is this one popped up? This one back at the wall, reaching over, and the grab is made by Jada Thomas. As the Dolphins center fielder, ASUN Freshman of the Year, robs a home run and ends the game.
So that call, of course, by our good buddy Richard Miller, who's been calling.
That was Richard Miller.
Yeah,
No
he's been calling games around these parts for a long
yeah.
time. So
Oh, yeah.
that was good news for JU as they beat Florida Gulf Coast yesterday 6-2. The bad news is JU lost earlier today 8-0 to Central Arkansas. So yeah, that was a rough go of it. But right now, North Florida softball is facing second-seeded Stetson. That game is 0-0. UNF did beat North Alabama yesterday 4-1. And North Alabama was the 3 seed. North Florida's the 7th seed. So UNF playing right now, like I said, against Stetson. 0-0. I already told y'all we started the show talking about Florida beating Auburn 10-9. What a back-and-forth contest that was. Tomorrow, Florida plays the winner of Arkansas, Alabama at 5 p.m. So the good news for you, Tom, is you will be spared from me watching softball.
I want to hear the boom.
Not until 5. That's only if we win. That game right now, Arkansas, Alabama, is 0-0. So it's just early there in the second. And then in ACC softball, FSU did beat Georgia Tech, and they'll face the winner of Stanford and Louisville tomorrow in the semifinals at 1 p.m. Florida's game also will be for the semifinals of the SEC tournament. The SEC tournament being held in Lexington, Kentucky this year, their first time ever to host it. Now we'll get it to men's lacrosse. The Dolphins won their first ever NCAA tournament game yesterday.
Nice.
JU beat Robert Morris 13-7.
And
now grab your popcorn. JU faces the second seed overall, second ranked Notre Dame Sunday at noon in South Bend. Yes. So JU versus Notre Dame. Notre Dame obviously really, really good.
Yeah, they've been good for a while.
Yeah.
Too.
They
There's
had
a couple
back-to-back natties.
Pot of Veeder kids, I think.
There are.
One or two of them on that team. Yeah, they always they've always seemed to have a good lacrosse team.
Yeah.
Or at least as of past 5
recently
years.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had back-to-back, not last year, but the previous two. So 24, 23, I think it was, or something like that. But they had back-to-back natties and then were close last year. And they just stay. And there's two brothers. One plays football too, the Faison brother. And now his younger brother's also playing on the lacrosse team and the football team. And he's even better than the older Faison or the younger Faison. I can't remember which one. I want to say he's the younger one. But yeah, they just keep popping. And it's a lot of brothers. It's interesting how it works. It's like multiple sets of brothers on that team too. But
that is very cool.
It'll be good. I mean, it's so cool for JU though. I immediately somebody texted me, one of my friends that's a Notre Dame fan, and they're like, I just saw that Notre Dame's playing JU. And I'm like, I know, it's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah, go Dolphins.
Come on, let's go for an upset.
That's right.
Taylor, can you give the JU some love, even though it's just lacrosse?
I know.
It's lacrosse.
She'll be excited either way.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then of course the JU women play tomorrow night against Colorado, so we'll keep an eye out on that as well. All right, let's talk some hardball. Taylor, your Cubs don't know how to lose.
They just keep going. It's insane. They're like 18-2 in the last 20 games. It's wild.
With the last three being
walk-offs. And I last night when I was watching, the Cubs were leading most of the time. It was like 4-2. You get into the 8th. The Reds ended up scoring 4, so they go up 6-4. And I'm like, oh, dang it, here it is. Like, okay, it's bound to happen. You've had 2 walk-offs the previous nights, and the chances of that happening again are really slim. You get into the 9th, there's 1 out, and they're still down by 2. So honestly, I turned the game off, and I was like, it was getting late anyways, and I was like, I'm just going to go to bed. So as I'm laying there, though, this is my problem. I'm like, well, I can't go to bed. The game's almost over. Let me just check. So I grab my phone, and right when I grab my phone, it's like Pete Crow, Armstrong, 2-run home run to tie the game. And I'm like, okay, well, now I got to turn the game back on. So I turn the game back on. They go into extras, and it's a walk-off walk is how it ended up ending. But yeah, I know Reds fans probably hate us right now because that's 3 games straight where it looks like you have a chance to win in the 9th and you don't.
Against a really
and then
good
2
team.
Extra inning games too. And they were leading the division when we started this series. Now they're dead last in the division after the series is over, and they're playing right now. Cubs are up 1-0. But it's our division right now is crazy though. Every single team's above 500.
Yeah.
It just feels like everybody keeps winning and hitting, and it's kind of a little bit different with the Cubs because they don't really have great pitching, and some of the other teams like the Pirates have really good pitching, and that's kind of what leads them to a lot of their wins.
Yeah,
but
Skeens had an unbelievable outing last night.
Yeah, everyone was like, who was worried about him in the beginning? Like, here it is, it's Skeens. But for some reason, the Cubs their bats are crazy. I mean, they have 12 guys that can hit, and that's what's keeping them winning right now. I don't know. I feel like eventually it's going to catch up not having, because all 3 of our starting pitcher, the top 3 of our what was supposed to be starting are all out and for good portions of the year. So I feel like that it feels like it should catch up eventually. We have AA guys pitching right now, honestly. We keep having to call them up and figure things out. But I mean, you 25-12, just keep rolling.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
You're going to take the wins for sure. The Rays, by the way, will be on ESPN tonight for the first time in the regular season since 2021.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Isn't that wild?
Wow, that
so
is.
Rays at Red Sox tonight. First pitch, 7 o'clock. Will be on the worldwide leader in sports. Griffin Jacks will be on the mound for the Rays. Jake Bennett for the Red Sox. Griffin Jacks is a guy that normally is a reliever, but they want him to transition to being a starter because Also, due to injuries, Ryan Pepio, it was announced a few days ago, hip surgery out for the season. They've also had a guy named Steven Matz have to go on the IL. They've got another guy that's Joe Boyle that's supposed to be a starter. He's transitioning back from injury for rehab. But anytime you see anything with pitcher and elbow, you start to go, oh no, that's not good. And so that's what happened with Steven Matz. But I love this quote. So Eduardo Perez will be on the call tonight with Carl Ravitch. And Eduardo said, "This is Junior Camanero's ESPN debut. This is Chandler Simpson's ESPN debut. This is Jonathan Aranda's ESPN debut. All those guys can hit." So, like, he's pumping them up for obvious reasons. Most people know Camanero because of the World Baseball Classic.
Yeah.
Chandler Simpson, we've talked about because he's so incredibly fast. And then Aranda is a guy that maybe if you're not a Rays fan, you've probably never heard of. But, I mean, he's a guy that can end games all the time. And so then this is the best quote. He goes, with Yandy Diaz, we're probably going to showcase the biggest biceps in the game. As someone who is a fan of big biceps, I thought that was great. But
funny.
yeah, it's fun to watch teams that these national guys are excited about broadcasting. And yes, it's a small market team, and there are a lot of disadvantages money wise and things like that. But I promise you, if you watch tonight, tune in, you'll see a fun team.
I gotta imagine Patrick's gonna put some money into that payroll. Maybe. Eventually.
Down the line, yeah. I think the stadium has to come first.
He seems to be. I've talked to him a couple of times. I would think he's that kind of. Not just gonna,
Dreamfinders, by the way, when this show first started back in 2014, Dreamfinders was our title sponsor.
Yeah.
They were all in on the all first female show.
Well, the Rays, 9-1 out of the last 10. They're on a run too. Atlanta's having a good year.
Oh yeah,
that's
almost halfway, right? I guess.
No,
not quite. Yeah.
Well, 37 games. What do you got? That's 74.
162.
162.
Yeah.
I was
so
thinking,
81 is the
okay. I was thinking half of that. Yeah. What a dummy.
You're thinking of the NBA schedule.
I was. Yeah. I was thinking.
I get it. You're much more of an NBA guy than
that's right. NBA
and hockey.
Right.
But I did see, because Rays and Cubs are the only two teams that haven't lost in May yet, and they're both 6-0 to start May. So, yeah, a lot of fun baseball happening right now. I even saw, which is crazy, because the Red Sox were having a rough time for a while. It just looked that, you would watch their games, and it felt like you were watching a child's baseball game, because they're overthrowing. It was errors like crazy, and it just looked so sloppy, and it was kind of weird to see that happen. But I saw a stat recently, I want to say it was since like April 17th or something like that. They have the same record as the Dodgers since that period of time.
So Don Mattingly is helping.
Yeah.
After they fired their manager. All right, more to do on the other side. You're listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
You know Dan Hicken.
Well, actually, where I come from, I'm considered something of a ladies' man.
And you know Jeff Prosser.
I've been on all sorts of adventures with this guy. A bunch of them.
They are The Drill.
You guys really believe that stuff, don't you?
Mornings on 1010XL.
Joe C. here. I tried playing handyman with my sprinklers and French drain. And royally failed. So I called Clearwater Irrigation and Drainage. And John Haney came out personally, just like he'll do for you.
You know it. And for a limited time, my good buddy Joe C's coming too.
Huh?
Ain't that right, Joe?
I gotta go to the game.
Go. Go.
Clearwater Irrigation.
At least do this part. And drainage too.
ClearwaterJacks.com.
Frank Frangie here. Nimnick Chevrolet is proud to be a 9-time Chevrolet Dealer of the Year recipient, the only dealership in Northeast Florida to ever win this prestigious award. Trust me, I know this. I've been dealing with Nimnick forever, and they really are that good. For 3 generations, Nimnick's been the place customers keep coming back to. Customers like me, treating you right, giving the most back to our community, more choices and better prices. It's just the best place to buy cars, and I can promise you that. So who gives you the best experience when you're buying a car? Nobody but Nimnick. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
It's Gator passion on display when Patrick Young brings power forward intensity to the drill.
Patrick Young, a rip and a run.
Fast breaks and clutch shots with Dan and Jeff. Friday mornings at 8:30. Tipped off by Southeast Orthopedic Specialists and Kuhn Flowers.
Attention men and women. If you'd like to get your hair back, then you need to listen to some of our clients. John in Orange Park.
IHRS showed me what was causing my hair loss and helped stop it.
Call IHRS now at 904-777-IHRS. Find out how to grow your hair back with a free hair and scalp examination. Diane from Ponte Vedra.
Now I have what lotions couldn't give me. Thick, beautiful hair.
Hurry and receive a free hair and scalp examination and get 2 weeks of laser treatments for free. Call IHRS at 904-777-4477. Hairforme.com.
In this age of globalization, we've learned that bigger isn't always better. Ever tried to get phone help from a big corporation? From a real person? Good luck. That is what's so nice about Mike Merritt's Heating and Air. Unlike publicly traded conglomerates with headquarters in faraway cities, Mike Merritt's Heating and Air remains family-owned and operated by Mike, your neighbor. Mike Merritt has delivered hometown service, integrity, and pricing for generations. The big guys incentivize their techs to sell you new equipment. Mike's team emphasizes repair first. We only sell you equipment if your current equipment is worn out and beyond repair. And let's be honest about price. Small operations without much overhead can sometimes lowball your job, but you can't trust just anyone with a truck. They may be here today and gone tomorrow. Mike Merritt has been keeping North Florida cool for more than 3 decades. That's experience and dedication you can count on. Call today or see us on the web.
Florida license number CAC 050384.
This is Mark Nato. My son Justin injured his hand playing baseball for JU. Southeast Orthopedic Specialist performed surgery just a few days later, and within 5 weeks, he was cleared to play in the ASUN baseball tournament. Our family has trusted Southeast Orthopedic Specialists for years. For any orthopedic injury, let Southeast Orthopedic Specialists take care of you too.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
SportsForecaster.com has all the data you need to project tomorrow's winners. Register for free and track the performance of all your favorite players and teams, including all your fantasy team picks and prospects. Sports Forecaster has the most detailed player profiles on the web, precise depth charts, every transaction, every injury, every news update. No ranting or raving, no preening or barstool bluster. At SportsForecaster.com, you get the timely info you need for every game. SportsForecaster.com. Sign up for free today.
New and pre-owned firearms are in stock at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach. Want a new sidearm or rifle? Brands like Kimber, Smith & Wesson, 6 Hour, Beretta. No lines, no hassle. Only at Beach's Jewelry and Pawn in Jacksonville Beach.
La playa is Spanish for the beach. If you can't remember that, the word Corona also works. Corona, La playa awaits.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Still, present, ready. Farah doesn't flinch.
So this time a year ago, we talked about Trevor Lawrence. It felt like every single day on this show, right? Because it was a polarizing topic. Now that has shifted from Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback, to Travis Hunter, the wide receiver / cornerback.
Yeah.
And now I feel like we talk more about Travis Hunter than almost any other player on this roster.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, he's a polarizing, guy, and the way they went up and got him.
On the field, not so much off the field.
No, off the field.
Yeah.
I mean, you just heard Josh Scobie earlier in the week, talking about, him fishing and hanging out. But, no, I mean, look, I think a lot of it is when he was drafted, the rhetoric when he was drafted. We're talking about that off air. I mean, I get it. You're excited. You want him. You think he's going to do a lot of things on both sides of the ball. But I think when you come out and say, hey, he's going to transcend the game, well, people are sitting there going, well, I'm waiting for that to happen. He may have been on his way. We don't know. I mean, obviously with the injury, but it hasn't happened. So then they're like, well, where's this transcending guy? Like you said, he's going to be. But the reality is you would have traded up for him anyway. That's really what the rhetoric should be is, look, he's the best guy in the draft. He can play both sides. We're going to figure it out. Whatever. That's why we went up and got him. I have no problem with what they gave up to go get him. Even if he never plays on offense again, I'd be like, if he's the best corner in the draft, best player in the draft, he's worth trading up 3 spots in the first round for. I don't know why that's such a big thing. But
and
when
you gave
have
away
these.
This year, sorry, Tommy, you gave away this year's first round pick that would have been 24th in a draft that everyone's saying isn't that good. And then obviously last year's second.
Yeah. But, look, he's got to look, we want him healthy for him. Like, that's number one. We want the kid to be healthy. But he's got to, and they've got to show that, he's that kind of player. I mean, it's funny, everyone wants to jump to the national pundit, jump to the conclusion. Oh, he's not going to do this. He's not. He's going to do whatever is needed. The nice thing about having a guy like Travis Hunter is the luxury that you can play him in multiple spots. You don't always have that luxury. Yeah. You normally don't, especially on both sides of the ball. Can a guy play guard and tackle on offensive line? Sure he can. Can he play guard and nose tackle on defense? No, he can't. He's just not that type of player. I think it comes with the territory and how they got him, the rhetoric when they got him, what everyone's expectations are when they got him, and they just haven't been fulfilled as of yet. So they're taking their swings at it.
Yeah, and I think, we talked about this last year too, in that. In the opposite light of that, the conversation of, okay, he plays both sides. So when you lose him, you're also losing both sides of the ball. And we saw that this last year. You had to go get Jacoby Myers because you felt like you lost him on offense. And then you had to kind of figure out defensively, and you didn't get to do a lot of the things that you probably planned on doing defensively coming into this season. And so I do think that there's that part of it. But when it comes to nationally, I really wonder if the Jags didn't trade up, if the Browns just took him at 2, if it would be this much of a oh, he's not playing both sides, he's playing both sides, he needs to play both, or it's not worth the second pick, or it's this or this or this. I don't think it would be. I think because of what the Jags gave away to trade up is why the conversation. And then, I think James Gladstone's comments too, when it comes to just changing the whole game of football, it probably would have been a little better to just be like, we think he can play both sides of the ball, so we're going to use him where it benefits him and it benefits us. And then it's going to be a game-to-game decision of where he's going to help the most, and that's how we're going to use him. Yep. But everyone's attaching themselves to that. So all of a sudden, when you're like, he's getting in talks of can he win Offensive Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year, to all of a sudden people being like, well, maybe he's going to barely play offense now. That is going to attract attention from anybody.
And look, we all, including me, got a little carried away when we drafted him because we thought, he could be Offensive and Defensive Rookie Player of the Year. Yes, of course he can. That's why they drafted. But the reality
I had him as my Defensive Player of the Year, my predictions.
That you can have, but to
not both.
Not expect. It wasn't expectations. More like, you can. That's why they drafted him. But that's because of the rhetoric and everything else you saw and what you saw in college. But that's really hard to do, man.
And because
really
it was a first-time GM. If this was a GM that had been through it before, and I'm not going to say Trent Baalke, but let's say the Jaguars somehow, some way ended up with Les Snead. Les Snead had been let go of the Rams, and then Les Snead was here in Jacksonville, and Les Snead was the one who drafted Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Still gave up what the Jaguars gave up, but Les Snead was the one making the decision.
Yeah.
I don't think the rhetoric also, or the narrative, would have been the same because the NFL doesn't want a first-timer, a newcomer, to make a move and be correct in doing it, right?
Yeah.
Just like the NFL players also don't want Travis Hunter to be successful playing both sides of the ball. They don't want that because no one else has been able to do that outside of Deion Sanders.
Yeah, well, and that would be the difference because with the Snead example, they'd be like, well, this is what Snead does. Number one, he trades away picks and gets players. He's also been right a lot and has had a lot of successful drafts, and James Gladstone obviously hasn't. He's been a part of regimes that have, so that does add an extra layer. And it's the same conversation they're having this year. We keep hearing people be like, he's acting like he's smarter than everybody else. He's acting like he's the smartest guy in the room, going this much against the grain of what the draft looked like to the majority of people. And so that is a part of it. And I think that I heard them talking about this on the Frangie show in the sense of James Gladstone being kind of polarizing in the league right now. And there's people that just don't really feel like they're not really fans of him because of the way he talks and because of some of these things he's done in the first couple seasons, that people don't want the new guy to come in and be doing all of these things different and be correct about it. So they almost, I feel like sometimes, and we talked about this a couple weeks ago, I don't think they're cheering against Travis Hunter because I think Travis Hunter is a very likable person, and he's somebody that I really do think when people watch the NFL, we talked about it overseas, how everybody was talking about Travis Hunter and how excited when they played in London that how much people were talking about Travis Hunter. So I don't think it's that side. I think it's just the fact that they don't want it to be like, oh, well, this new guy comes along and is doing all of these things right and talking weird and whatever. That's not what the national people want. And it's the Jags,
His
too.
phraseology is just elevated. He has elevated vocabulary, elevated ways of speaking.
He's too smart for me to hang out with.
He's
after
also
a while, I'm
young.
like, James, can you talk normal? Just talking.
It sounds like you're
slang.
asking ChatGPT sometimes a question. And I'm like,
he is on the younger side, so I think that goes into it too.
I think part of it is that who's this new young guy making all these bold moves? You know, he does it last year, and then this year he goes, like you said, it's his internal whatever. I'm all
internal
for it.
consensus
Internal
versus the consensus
That's
board.
right. That's right. But I'm sure there's a little bit of that, like who's this kid think he is, kind of thing. But so what? Stick to your guns, and if it works out, you can all give him the double. You know what? As you go to the Super Bowl championship,
if you want to stick to your guns, maybe get in the weight room with Liam.
Yeah.
Because I don't know that I've seen the muscle growth from James that I've seen.
Yeah, definitely not.
Liam over the last year.
Liam's still in the lightweight. Let's not give him too much credit. Jeez, it's not like he turned into Lou Ferrigno overnight.
No, I mean, Josh Hines-Allen looks like he's had more games. But still, Liam looks totally different than, like, if you see a picture of him when he was first hired to now, drastically different. All right.
Chemistry is a beautiful thing, and it can help you a lot of ways.
Let's hear from Liam Cohen. I believe it was Kai Stevens who asked him about Travis Hunter playing both ways.
The plan has not changed at all. He's going to play both sides of the football just as we drafted him to do, and just as we have the same vision for him in terms of being able to give him those opportunities. Now, is it day by day in terms of what he looks like in his process of rehab? Absolutely. But the plan to play him on both sides of the ball as much as possible, that has absolutely stayed the same. It's stayed consistent. I think people look at naturally and see that Greg Newsome left and that there's a spot there that people are just plugging him into. Well, yeah, I'd love for him to play as much as humanly possible on both sides of the ball.
There you have it, as much as humanly possible.
Yeah.
I think, obviously, right now, everyone's focused on what he's going to do this season. The Jaguars internally are focused on his rehab.
Yeah.
Yes, they're doing this media tour because that's what good marketing people encourage you to do.
Yeah.
Anytime the NFL is talking about the Jaguars, whether it's positive or negative, what do they say? Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah. Exposure.
Yeah.
Good
And
exposure.
so that's a good thing, especially because you are going to have a limited capacity stadium for this upcoming season. But look, I think Liam Cohen had a plan for last year. In the end, Travis Hunter got hurt midway through the season. And so we never got to see the full plan put in place.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they even said it best, James and Lee. It was an exploratory type year.
Yeah.
Like, the way they got hired, the way they put it together, the way they got the step
Discovery
together,
for
everything. Discovery, right?
Yeah.
Like, this is what they were, and they were trying to figure out. I mean, I'm sure they didn't go, all right, he's going to be both sides every snap.
Right.
They're not thinking that. They're like, all right, how can we really implement this young man? And remember, they started him off on offense because there was more to learn on offense, and he throughout camp, I mean, he would switch on occasion, maybe a day here or a practice here, but it wasn't like as much on defense. It was more on offense, which just showed you when he did play, like the second game of the year against Cincinnati, showed he could play corner.
Yeah.
And he could play that press type corner. So again, I think we're all on the same page. Start him like as much on defense, as much you can on offense, sprinkle him in, and hopefully he can stay healthy and really help you on both sides of the football. But if he doesn't, just be great at one of them.
Yeah.
You are the second pick overall. So I expect you to be great, whether you're a wide receiver or a corner. You got to be great. Like Trayvon Walker. I mean, you're the number one pick overall.
Right.
The expectation is that you are a great player. And I think he's a really good player on the verge of maybe being that great player. But he's close. I mean, if you watch him against the run, you'll be like, Tom, he's great. Right.
Very violent against the run.
He is. But
Now,
everything together, he's been very good.
That's
what I would say.
Is so unfortunate about injuries and when it comes to football, right?
Absolutely.
Like with Trevor
It's part
Lawrence,
of
all those injuries for those 2 seasons. With Trayvon Walker this year, Eric Armstead a little bit, but more Trayvon Walker. If Trayvon never has the wrist injury, let alone the knee injury, but if he never has the wrist injury, does he have another double-digit year of sacks?
Yeah.
I'm going to say he does.
Does he get way more than the $110 million that he just got?
Ooh, good question.
He probably would have.
Yeah.
And by the way, did the Jaguars beat the Bills if Travis Hunter's playing DB against Brandon Cooks versus Greg Newsome? I don't know
the
if
answer.
they
I think I know the
necessarily
answer.
win, but
I mean, that's part of the
Educated guess.
conversation is when Travis Hunter is going to be a part of this conversation, because I think that the way that everything played out, when you talk about moving up to draft somebody, when you talk about the potential of what they can do on both sides of the ball, when you talk about the way the injury panned out, when you talk about the games after he wasn't there and what those looked like with or without him offensively, defensively, and now we're in this we're in this year 2 of the Jags trying to figure it out of what exactly to do. And they had last year to kind of test some things out, and they figured out what worked and what didn't work. But it's going to be a part of the conversation because it's Travis Hunter, and Travis Hunter is going to be talked about around the league. He's going to be talked about here. So I know sometimes it probably feels like, oh, here we go again. and we're talking about which side of the ball Travis Hunter's going to play on. It's going to happen. Sorry. Like, people are going to have to get over it if they don't want to keep talking about it. Yeah, because it's who he is. It's going to be the conversation in 10 years if he's playing both sides. Or like, do they keep playing him both sides of the ball, or do you want him to be the best corner in year 8 and 9 and 10, or do you keep letting him play? It's going to be a conversation forever around Travis Hunter.
And you want to push that to the side, so you can kind of focus on just on football games. But here's the reality. Like, if he doesn't get hurt, is Jacoby Myers even on this team?
Yeah.
That's a legitimate question. And I don't want anybody to get hurt because it sucks getting hurt. But without him, maybe Jacoby's not here. And here's another reality. They went on the run without him.
Yeah.
I mean, they won all those games in a row without him. They were scoring 30 points a game without him. Now, would he have helped I think he would have.
That's the thing. Yeah, right.
Yes, I agree with that.
You'd have Buster outside. You'd have him outside.
Oh.
You can mix in Jarian Jones. Obviously, Jordan Lewis also got hurt in week 16.
Because Greg Newsome was a miss. He just was a miss.
But then, you could have had Jarian in the slot and Travis Hunter and Buster on the outside.
Yes.
Right.
And how much does that change things?
Yeah.
A lot, I think.
And I don't know that, I'm not going to sit here and say the Jaguars would have won the Super Bowl in that regard.
But they would have been a lot better on defense.
But I do think they would have made it to the AFC Championship game the way that the momentum was going in their favor. And then if you make it to the AFC Championship game and you are facing the Broncos without Bo Nix, maybe you at least make it to the Super Bowl. I know that's what we were all thinking at that point in time. I heard a guy calling the Jaguars today, and he was like, I haven't called in a while because basically I'm still upset over the Bills loss. And I was like, I feel you. I feel you. And we have to do this every day. All right, the golden moment awaits on the other side. You are listening to Helmets and Heels, 1010XL, 92.5 FM.
Get Florida Gators play-by-play on 1010XL.
It's Kentucky Bluegrass and Florida Swampgrass. Gators Wildcats. Friday night, Saturday at 4, and Sunday at noon on 1010 AM.
I'm local attorney Rick Alexander. In my 30 years practicing law, I've learned you never want to choose money over health. It's always a bad deal. Unfortunately, when someone screws up and you get hurt, that choice is gone. Your only choice is whether you face the future with a lawyer or without one. If you're hurt because somebody screwed up, call me at the practice. The Alexander Law Practice, 904-400-6600 or alexanderlawpractice.com, Jacksonville.
Hello, First Coast. I'm sure by now you have seen our bright green GFL trucks and containers throughout the greater Jacksonville area. We're an industry leader in solid waste and would love the opportunity to earn your business. We're committed to customer service, reliability, and have an unwavering focus on safety. Whether commercial or construction, let us haul your waste away. Call 904-760-5880 to get a quote today from GFL, Green for Life.
Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice! Beetlejuice!
It's showtime.
That's right. The whole world loves Beetlejuice. It's a rowdy, rambunctious, rollicking good time. And a big, fantastical funhouse. We're raising the bar and occasionally the dead. You've never seen anything quite like Beetlejuice. May 12th through the 17th, Jacksonville Center for the Performing Arts. Tickets on sale at fscjartistseries.org.
Living on Amelia Island, having fun in Fernandina Beach? No matter what brings you to the fun, cozy town, make sure you check out the tap room at Mocama Beer Company. With a full flight of craft creations, from the Cosmico IPA to the Motor, the perfect pilsners and lagers, matching memories and some Mocama magic is what it's all about. Mocama Beer Company in Fernandina Beach, near the big water where the sun is born. And look for more Mocama craft at your local Total Wine or ABC Liquors.
I'm Clayton Bromberg, the president of Underwoods. One of the biggest changes we've seen in fine jewelry over the last 25 years has been the growth of jewelry designers. At Underwoods, we're the leader, bringing to North Florida the best names in designer jewelry. In fact, we carry designer lines in a similar way to how clothing stores carry designer labels. The difference is that jewelry designers have to be a little more timeless in their presentations because nobody wants to buy a fine piece of jewelry only to find out the next year it's gone out of style. That's why you'll find at Underwoods the best of the jewelry designer names, those that are tried and true and popular. Names like David Yerman, Roberto Coin, John Hardy, Marco Bichigo, Jude Francis, Lagos, Hippolyta, and a lot more are all available right now at Underwoods. So if you want the best looks in designer jewelry, stop by Underwoods, San Marco, Avondale, or the shops of Ponte Vedra.
Dinner tonight? Make it easy and make it something everyone will love. With the Flame Broiler Family Meal Plan, you can feed 4 fast with fresh, flavorful options. You get 20 ounces of your choice of protein. Mix and match your favorites, plus steamed rice and a fresh veggie medley. It's a complete no-stress meal the whole family can agree on, starting at just $34.99. Skip the cooking tonight. Bring the family together and stop by any of Flame Broiler's 5 locations today.
Attention poker players, the tables are heating up at all Best Bet locations. Don't miss a minute of the action with $800 high hands every Friday and Saturday, $555 Cinco de Mayo high hands every 20 minutes, and the Memorial Day $30,000 cash giveaway. And don't forget to earn those entries to win a side-by-side all-terrain vehicle starting May 1st in Best Bet St. Augustine. Get to your location of choice, Jacksonville, Orange Park, or St. Augustine, and take home your winnings. For all the details, visit bestbetjacks.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. When it's game time, Farah doesn't flinch. Now, the Monahan's golden moment. Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach, your local family jewelers.
Golden moment today as we have continued on getting to know some of these new drafted players by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Today we talked to David Smoke of Baylor and got to know the new wide receiver a little bit more. It seems some similarities between all these guys we've drafted when it comes to the intangibly rich side. Every single person we've talked to, without us being like, what type of human are they? What type of guy? What are they like to just interview? They've all just came out and said they're one of my favorite people to talk to, or they're just great human beings, and the things they've been through and all of those, they also all have not, they've been like 0 stars or 1 stars or walk-ons or something like that and climbed their way to being captains by the end of their time in college. So it's kind of cool to see some of those stuff and some of those things. And I do think it will be interesting to see where a lot of these guys fit in when it comes to this roster right now, because there are some battles and we've talked about that, but it does feel like for the most part you have your starters. So most of these guys are going to be special teams players or rotational players. Some possibly like a Pregnon, obviously, you feel like truly battling for that guard spot. But it's just fun to hear the other side of things sometimes when it comes to the new guys on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And we spend so much time talking about all, what happened last season and how to fix it and things like this. Well, and hopefully this is part of how to fix it, is some of these guys and adding depth and things like that.
Well, it sounds like their chemical makeup is a fit for the NFL, being tough and gritty. And now you just got to make sure that the skill set transfers over, because, again, being great in college is one thing, and that's great. Obviously, that's a great college career to have, but being great in the NFL is a totally different level, So, but with their stories, you could tell they're guys that they're the kind of guys they want in the locker room. They want those guys, I said it already, but those guys that they drafted and that they signed as undrafted free agents, rookie free agents, they're the same kind of guys that are in the locker room. May not be the same kind of players. We'll find out if they are, but they're the same kind of guys. And when you can get that, that's more than half the battle. Then, of course, you got to be right on the talents and the scheme and everything. But, they look, again, the strategy is what it is. They feel like they have their team. And this year's strategy was to fill in some gaps, fill in some blanks, maybe a new right guard, maybe a new safety. We got to figure out Lloyd, right? We got to figure out ETN. You know what I mean? But for the majority, we've got our team. Mm-hmm. And if we got a QB that played the way he played late last year and he plays that way this year, we got a chance to beat anybody. I mean, that's the reality of it. And if they can, look, last year was what? Raise the floor. They did that. Now it's what? Fill in those gaps that you need, those grunts that you need, that blocking tight end, that guard, that fast backer that's going to run down on special teams. Maybe a punt returner that you might need because Parker's going to be more, you know what I mean? Like these are very important roles to play. They're the grunts, which I call them. They're not the
glue.
They're the glue. They're not the starting left tackle or the pass rusher, but they're in between. And you need those guys in order to have a very successful team. So I feel like that's the strategy. Will it work? Well, it worked last year. Their strategy, what it was last year, worked. So we'll see if it works this year. But I think they're trending in the right direction anyway.
I saw people criticizing not just our show, but all the shows on 1010, like talking about the draft. If you have to say, like, time will tell, then it probably wasn't a good draft. And it's like, well, we're all saying time will tell because it's not like they had a pick in the first or the top 10, right? Even the first round. these are all guys that aren't going to potentially start. So that is why it's time will tell. We are going to have to get, it's not like they got a guy that is going to be their starting running back or starting wide receiver.
Yeah.
But yeah, Josh Cameron in his Baylor career, 53 games, 170 catches, over 2,200 yards, 19 touchdowns. And then his senior year alone, over 870 yards and 9 touchdowns. So, I mean, again, it's Baylor, which is in the Big 12. That's not obviously the SEC or the Big 10, but he was a productive guy in college.
Well, and for the I mean, look, you can go back and you could say it about pretty much almost every draft pick. Like, we'll wait and see. You know, Fred Taylor didn't have to wait and see. You knew he was going to be a star, like because of the way he played at Florida and the way his physical abilities were. But a lot of guys, like Luke Jokel, when we drafted him, we thought, oh man, it's Luke Jokel. He's a great kid, great tackle in college. He's going to be great in the pros. Guess what? He wasn't great in the pros. We missed on that. Well, how did you miss? Well, I don't know. He wasn't a fit. He wasn't good enough. He just, whatever. The whole chemical makeup wasn't what we needed, whatever that case may be. And then you hit on guys like, are way deep in the draft that you're like, well, did you get lucky with those guys? Or
like
was
Parker and Antonio.
Yeah, or no. Well, maybe a little bit of luck because they fell, but no, we targeted them at this certain round area, and they
sometimes
fell.
You have to be patient, and some franchises are not patient. We talked about it with Quincy Williams when he was drafted here as the Jaguars linebacker. They cut him fairly early in his career, moved on to the Jets.
Listen, I think Washington's a great example. I mean, come on. When we drafted him, we were like, okay, great.
Yeah. He and
Let's
Brenton
see what
from
he
Penn
can do.
State. Yeah.
Let's see. We shall see. I think we all say that. And then you're like, okay, year one, not bad. He's got a spot, you know, and then year 2 was better. And then year 3, a lot better. And now you're like, look at him now. Like, he was a total wait and see project. So was Brenton Strange in the 3rd round.
Mm-hmm.
So, that
so
just because you say that doesn't mean it's bad. You know what I mean?
There are some
you really don't know.
Yeah,
You just don't
I was just saying,
sometimes.
so it was Mason Smith was a wait and see guy, and we saw. So
there
it
are
does
bad
go
ones.
both ways.
He could blossom with the Falcons.
Yeah,
You know, we
saw
no
Caleb Vaughn do that.
Yeah, we have no idea what's going to be the end of his
You're
career.
right.
One thing I wanted to ask
It
David,
goes both sides.
Yeah,
so for
absolutely.
Sure.
I wanted to ask David Smoke about Chip and Joanna Gaines, but ran out of time. That's the.
They're
in
right.
Waco.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, their stores.
I
in
do
Waco.
love them.
Yeah, they're fantastic. But I didn't feel like we could shift from.
How about David Koresh? You going to go into that one too? And he's from Waco?
Yes, but
Remember
no,
that
it wasn't.
lunatic?
Wasn't going to go into that. No, I was thinking
Like,
more.
so Waco.
So let's talk
I heard
about
something
Waco and
happened
the
there
history.
once.
All right, pest of the day on the other side. It might be David. You are listening to Helmets and Heels on Tintin X on 82.5 FM.
Frank Frangie here, and Big Chief Tire makes it easier than ever to get the tires you need with the Big Chief credit card. No annual fee, low monthly payments, and great promotional financing. Plus, you get free flat repairs and rotations, and right now, $50 off your first purchase when you sign up. I love how simple they make everything. Visit WeKeepJacksRollin.com to apply for the credit card and get the tires you need today. That's Big Chief Tire.
When my wrist pain was acting up and I needed help, I took Dan Higgins' advice and headed over to see the experts at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. This is Stuart Moore with the PGA Tour. I highly recommend Southeast Orthopedic Specialists. Whenever you have a need, they took great care of me. They'll take great care of you.
This is Dr. Kevin Murphy. The next time you need orthopedic care, you can rely on our team at Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Relieve pain and get back to life. Southeast Orthopedic Specialists.
Hi, I'm Sean Monahan from Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach. Since 1977, we've been Jacksonville's local family jeweler, and this Mother's Day, we'd like to help you celebrate Mom with up to 40% off our entire inventory. GIA-certified natural diamonds and lab-grown diamonds, beautiful colored gemstones, designer brands, custom jewelry design, and Monahan Jewelers offers interest-free financing on any purchase, so get something special with a payment you can afford. Come celebrate Mom with fine jewelry at up to 40% off at Monahan Jewelers in Atlantic Beach.
Joe C. for Blossman Gas. They've been providing hometown service and the comforts of propane to home and businesses since 1951. Imagine movie night spent around glowing gas fireplace logs, cookouts in the backyard with your propane grill, or laundry done faster with your gas dryer. Blossman has a wide variety of gas appliances to fit your needs. propane delivery, gas appliances, and a full-service team. Blossman Gas is your local company for everything propane. Blossman Gas, log on, blossmangas.com, and check out the Blossman difference.
I'm here with Danny Van Sickle, Director of the Electrical Training Alliance. Danny, tell me about your program.
Hey, Rick, we're a 4-year electrical apprenticeship. Our students start out making over $40,000 a year and right now make over $90,000 a year, including benefits. There is no tuition or student debt. You just have to apply and get accepted.
Did you say no tuition and no student debt?
You heard that right, Rick. Once you're accepted to the program, your only cost for the books and the course fees, about $800 a year.
That sounds like an amazing opportunity. How can I learn more?
Just go to etajax.org and you can apply there.
Apply by May 14th.
Progressive knows that boat days can come with unexpected problems.
It's been a tough Saturday on the lake. I ordered swim trunks in this orange cream color, but it's actually more orange auburn. Oh, and it's swimwear. I probably can't even return these.
If a real problem comes along, your boat's protected 24/7 with Progressive, so you can keep worrying about boater problems. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates, not available in D.C.
Bueller.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Hey, Jason, thanks for fixing my air conditioner last week. It's way nicer at my place now.
Glad we could help. Good to know it was just a small repair.
I know. A new air conditioner can be pretty expensive.
I mean, they do keep your whole house nice. That's a lot of space to keep cool.
I know.
And they do it all summer long, even when the weather is totally Jacksonville temperature outside.
I know.
Luckily, if you ever do need a new AC, we can arrange a financing plan that'll make it easy for you to handle.
Wait, I didn't know that.
Here, put on these sunglasses.
Whoa. They can show banking information? Cool glasses.
Short term, long term, low interest, 0 down payment. There's all kinds of options for bigger projects or even repairs as low as $500.
I wish I had these math sunglasses in high school.
You and me both, pal.
Stay cooler with Bueller.
Visit BuellerAir.com.
1010XL, presented by Farah and Farah, exclusive injury law firm of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Focused, fueled, fearless, Farah.
I don't practice Santeria. I ain't got no crystal ball. I had $1 million, but I'd spend it all.
That's probably true. If you gave me $1 million, I maybe not spend it all, but I feel like I'd spend a good chunk on a boat.
If you gave it to me back in college,
Oh,
it'd
yeah.
be long gone. Let me tell you that much.
Absolutely. Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders. I'm Lauren Brooks with you. Oh, just a few moments here, so we'll give you today's Pest of the Day, as always brought to you by our friends at Terminix. You can find them online at Terminix.com. It's TERMINIX.com. They do a fabulous job taking care of any pest issues that we have at our house, at ViStar Ballpark, ViStar Veterans Memorial Arena, all of your favorite event venues around town. Speaking of ViStar Ballpark, be listening tomorrow if you want to win some tickets to a Jumbo Shrimp game.
Nice.
Jumbo Shrimp at home this week against Charlotte. All right, the pest of the day. That's right, go shrimping. Sit in one of those shrimp boats. The pest of the day is going to be the fact that former South Carolina quarterback Steven Garcia was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer. And hopefully he's going to be okay. It seems like maybe they caught it early enough. But he wanted to advise everyone that if you're not feeling quite right, make sure you go see your doctor.
Yep.
It was a little bit of a shock because like Steven Garcia was in college after me, right? And so to see like stage 4 cancer, he's not even old enough to have reached the age where you have to go get, your colon
checked,
colonoscopy and things like that.
Yeah. That's sad, man. Hopefully he can make a full recovery.
Yes.
Look, I'm probably guilty as anybody. I'm not a big fan of doctors. I
Sure.
like them as people.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean.
I like you as people, but I don't like going to the doctor. I just
think
don't.
that's how most people are. I mean, I feel like it takes a lot for most of us to be like, all right, other than like the once a year checkups.
Yeah, I'll do that all the
Yeah.
I get my blood work done every 6
that's
months
really
or
good.
12 months.
Some
yeah.
people don't obviously do that
I do
either.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, and I think it all also depends your age, your health, like how you're feeling
Yeah.
and things like that. If you're a
Yeah.
really healthy person, you may not go to the doctor once a year.
Health
until
insurance factors in for a lot of
it
people.
does.
Insurance
Yeah.
does, absolutely.
Yeah, I wasn't getting my blood work done every year until probably I hit 40, and then you start the mammograms, and now they say 45 is the new 50 as far as the colonoscopy.
If you can keep the blood clean, you got a good chance.
Yes.
But anything can happen, as we know. That's why you got to go see the doctor, even when you don't want to.
Well, and like Steven said on social media, someone asked him like, well, what were your symptoms? And I'm not going to get into it, but he basically just said like there were just some issues that he was having stomach wise. And so hopefully, like I said, he's going to be just fine, like you said as well. By the way, update, North Florida, unfortunately, is down 3-0 in the bottom of the fourth to Stetson. They're in the A-Sun softball tournament. Again, that is happening at UNF, and we want the Ospreys to win, so beat those Hatters.
That's right. That's right. Swing for the fence.
Swing for the fence.
Kid.
There was something from the Florida softball game I was going to tell you all about. The fact that Auburn had 2 errors. And so in a game when you lose 10-9, and Auburn, by the way, so Florida beat Auburn earlier, like I said, 10-9. Auburn needed to really win that game in order to get to 500 in the SEC, because otherwise Auburn might be left out of the NCAA tournament. So that there was so much on the line for the Tigers.
And a couple errors in those moments.
And they had 2 errors. One was literally the ball hit to a shortstop and it bounced off of her glove.
No.
Yes.
That's
what? You're a collegiate softball player. You're a shortstop, so obviously one of the best players on the team defensively. Ball hits the glove. Well, I'm sure normally, but they did say Auburn has had fielding issues like throughout the year. But I'd only played softball for 1 year. I was absolutely terrible. They made me a pitcher, which was a really dumb idea because I had literally never touched a softball before, and they said, "Here, go be the pitcher."
And moments like that, I'm sure nerves are involved because you know you talk about every pitch counting, but that moment obviously could have changed the game in certain aspects. I know I was watching, I've told you guys about this on the show, but that Lovable Losers podcast that they're doing, kind of recapping the Cubs 2016 World Series run, they were talking about because Chris Bryant and Rizzo, and they'd make that final out obviously in that game, and they were talking about how nervous they are, and I'm like, these guys have been playing baseball forever since they're children, and they, a lot of wins that year, and you're in the World Series, so that moment's so big. But even in that, Chris Bryant was like, I was so nervous. I was like in my head, just don't overthrow this. And then Rizzo's like, I put so much tar in my glove so that if the ball got in there, it was not popping back out. And so even guys that have been playing that in Major League Baseball are thinking that. And so somebody like that in a situation, I'm sure there's nerves involved because you know that
you don't want to end up like Bill Buck.
Yeah, you do
not. Don't want to end up like Bill Buck.
You do not.
Goodness. Let's say hello to the Frangie Show.
Now, the 2-minute drill is driven by nobody but Nimnicht. Nimnicht Chevrolet on Cassett Avenue and Nimnicht Buick GMC on Phillips Highway.
How about your boy Paul Skeens last night?
Boy, was he good last night. He hadn't walked a batter in 27 innings. Isn't that amazing?
He's unreal.
But by the way, you talk about the level of the losers. I miss the crappy Cubs.
I
don't. Now my team's lousy. But back in the day, the Cubs are on WGN. Everybody saw them. We all loved them. They're terrible. Now they're like really good. They're probably going to win the World Series. I'm happy for you because I really like you. But I miss the crappy Cubs.
I'm sure a lot of people
I miss the crappy Cubs. The crappy Cubs were fun, Tom. They were terrible.
Yeah.
Kind of like my team is now. But my team's not lovable. But everybody loved the Cubs.
Yeah.
Harry
Wrigley's always fun.
Oh, it's the best. Well, that's your stomping grounds. Listen to me telling you.
I heard you guys talking about that yesterday with like the Ted Turner stuff and WGN and how many that made baseball fans out of people. There's a lot of people I meet that are Cubs fans. I'm like, how are you a Cubs fan? Are you from Chicago? No, I just watched him on WGN growing up.
Right? No, you're exactly right. And Ted Turner created all that. It's amazing. Yep. He's known for all the CNN and TNT, but the impact he had on televising every team. See, before that, I don't care if it's hockey, football is different because it's only so many games, but I don't care if it's hockey, basketball, or baseball. Nobody had a situation where he televised all their games. He changed all that. And then now everybody does it. But that was never the case. So it was kind of cool. So
I read that Ted Turner, if not had the most land of anyone alive, or not anyone alive, but anyone in the country. He was at least amongst the top land owners. That he had like thousands of acres in Florida and then millions of acres in like Montana.
Oh yeah. Well, I knew that.
That's some wealth.
Yeah. In fact, Ted's Montana Grill. That was his once upon a time, right? Did you know that?
Oh, I did not know that.
I didn't know
Ted's
that.
Montana Grill was started. Ted Turner started it.
There's a house in Atlantic Beach that's all the way down Seminole, right before Hanna Park, like before the fence. Growing up, someone told me that was Ted Turner's house.
Okay.
So for most of my life, I thought
Ted lived
Ted Turner. This is one of his houses.
You and Ted were buddies.
Yeah, and then I googled Ted Turner, Florida, and it was like his mansion was in Tallahassee or somewhere near Tallahassee.
I know he lives near Tallahassee, so that's cool. So Lee Smith's coming in today. We're talking golf. Ryan O'Halloran will be in for the last 2 days of Hayes' vacation.
Nice.
We got a Duval County Scholar athlete, so we got all kind of fun stuff all coming up.
Excellent. And tomorrow, let's plug the clinic.
Yeah, are you coming, by the way?
I am coming.
I will tell you this. We were having our staff meeting today, and somebody said, is this person, Zach Osbeck's going to do the stretching, which he did at the beginning. He started, Tom, and someone said, was Lauren coming? And I said, I think so. She said, well, Lauren was part of the start of this, so make sure Lauren's coming. I said, well, I can't make her come, but I will see her and I can ask her. So
She was the hot dog girl. Hot dog lady. That was even worse.
From the get-go.
Hot dog lady.
But,
I would have been Glizzy girl, proud Glizzy.
but this is it'll be our 10,000 kids. We've had in 9 years, 10,000. We've served about 13,000, but 10,000 have come through these clinics. And Lauren helped us start this. And I've told this story many times. I'll tell it real quick, then I'll go. We had a planning when we first started Walk Off, and Lauren had some sort of a sinus surgery thing, something like that.
Yeah, I had sinus surgery.
Yeah, so she was just miserable, couldn't breathe, and eyes were watering. And we had this 8 a.m. meeting at Mimi's. Remember the old Mimi's?
Oh, yeah, the cafe, yeah.
And we had this meeting, and I said, Lauren, you know, Lauren walked in 5 till 8. Looking just watery, eye water, but never missed. But never missed it. So it was a big part of helping us start Walk Off. So I really appreciate that.
We love Walk Off.
Awesome.
Yes, absolutely. 10,000
I love
kids.
Cubs Walk Offs that they've had 3 straight days.
That's all they do. Cubs, all they do is walk off and win. So thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you so much, Frank. Yeah,
That is great.
the first clinics were in 2017.
Yep.
And it was awesome to see these little kids get a glove and learn to play baseball. And now, obviously, it's expanded so much. That was back at San Souci Ballpark, and then now it's moved over to the Brigham Baseball Complex at Fort Family. But yeah, I have to go tomorrow, even if I don't hand out any hot dogs. I got to be a part of it.
Baseball's a great sport, especially growing up. You know what I mean? If you don't even play past high school, it's just a great all-American sport.
Oh, yeah.
You
And
know?
if you've never heard the story, Frank started it because he had a service person come over to his house. I want to say it was a plumber. And the plumber had a lot of kids. I want to say like maybe 5 kids and just couldn't quite afford to put the kids in baseball, some of them. And Frank was like, but every kid wants to wear their baseball uniform to school one day. Like, I don't want them to not have that opportunity. And so that's how Walk Off began. And now, like you said, 9 years later, next year will be 10 years.
That's
unbelievable.
Wow. So wild. Cool.
It really is. But that'll do it for us today. For Taylor Dahl, Tom McManus, RJ Saunders, I'm Lauren Brooks. These heels are made for talking. We will talk to you tomorrow, but don't go anywhere. The Frangie Show with Ryan O'Halloran is next.